ocean, but I can't see all the wreckage inside of me. No light buried so far down. Dare to try to take a hold of me. There's no coming back from empathy. No words, silence is deafening. Hand underwater, take it further down. Don't even bother. I'm lost and can't be found. It's taking over, burn me to the ground. No point in swimming when I was meant to drown. All the promises we
Testing,
can't
testing,
keep.
1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Forgive, truly won't forget. And there was a rope as a joke with the word shoved down my throat. In the moment when I needed you most, I'm a fool for letting you get so close. Hand underwater, take it further down. Don't even bother. I'm lost and can't be found. It's taking over, burn me to the ground. No point in swimming when I was meant to drown. Till the day I die, 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 till I die. It's killing me inside, killing me inside, killing me inside, killing me inside, killing me inside. Hand underwater, take it further down. Don't even bother. I'm lost and can't be found. It's taking over, burn me to the ground. No point in swimming when I was meant to drown. Hand underwater, take it further down. Don't even bother. I'm lost and can't be found. It's taking over, burn me to the ground. No point in swimming when I was meant to drown.
A woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. You lost your edge, she lost the traction for you. That's how it works. What'd you think she was gonna do? Tell you she cheated? Men cannot afford to get complacent in relationships. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
And now your man, Donovan Sharp.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp, and welcome to the 880th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of toxic masculinity, misogyny, and small bleep energy. It is Wednesday, October 19th of 2022. It is good to have you guys in this afternoon. As always, we are multi-streaming live simultaneously to Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, MGTOW.tv, Manosphere.tv, DLive Rumble, and of course in crystal clear high-resolution 4K to Sharpstream, which is absolutely free on the App Store for iOS and the Google Play Store for Android. So however you are watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharp Reality Live a part of your daily routine. Quick announcements before we get started. If you like the video, prove it and hit the like button. Also, if you like my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you have a strong opinion, whether you agree with me or not, drop me a comment and let me know, what you think. And last but not least, share these videos with anyone who pees standing up, if you think they could use this content. Also, be sure to tune into the hashtag How to Relationship Podcast with myself. On the hashtag How to Relationship Podcast, myself and the lovely and talented Devin and I discuss current events pertaining to relationships from an RP perspective, as well as evergreen topics that will help people to have better relationships. We also talk about certain elements of our relationship to give you guys a little bit of insight on what makes us tick, what makes our relationship works. You can tune in every Saturday and Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on the Donovan Sharp YouTube channel. If you're not getting notifications from YouTube when I go live, and let's all keep it real, you're not, you need to download the Sharp Stream app and you'll never miss another live stream notification again. The app is absolutely free, gentlemen. It is available, as I said before, for iOS and Android. When you download the app, you get access to all of my premium live content without paying anything. You get access to my dating show breakdowns. You get access to my exclusive streams. You get access to anything that is not saved for YouTube. What does this mean? This means you can watch all of my breakdowns, dating shows, movies, and so forth, and keep your hands on your money. However, if you do want access to the replays as well as the archive of the 20-plus seasons of dating shows and the 4 movies I've broken down and over 30,000 hours of premium content not found anywhere else, become a Sharpstream member or a patron member for less than 17 cents a day. Now, as a Sharpstream member and or a patron, you get access to the podcast versions of my live streams just like this one, which is all the content without any of the small talk, shilling, or me running my mouth about things you care nothing about, like my sponsors, my ebooks, or my bowling scores. More on that shortly. To sign up, go to patreon.com/DonovanSharp or to sharpstream.com. Gentlemen, I've said this once and I'll say it again. 95% of relationship issues can be traced back to the beginning of the relationship, the honeymoon phase. And guys, I know the honeymoon phase is magical, but trust me, I've been there many, 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 many times. It's a very magical time. But if you're not paying attention, you will miss critical signs, characteristics, and habits that will tell you, that
she belongs to the streets.
So now the question becomes, what can I do to see through my endorphin, oxytocin, and dopamine-colored glasses to see a woman for who and what she really is? The answer is my brand new interactive ebook, How to Properly Vet Women for Relationships. This is no ordinary book, gentlemen. This is no ordinary ebook, rather. This ebook is fully interactive, meaning that within the ebook, there will be a ton of audio and video supplements to the valuable information you're going to get. There will also be additional links to additional audio and video supplements, which makes this the best ebook I've ever done. The best part is that it's only $13, which is worth its weight in gold with all of the information packed within this interactive publication. So if you've been completely blindsided by a woman, if you've been burned by a woman, or if you're not exactly sure if the woman you're seeing is worth committing to long term, you need to get your hands on this book. To get your hands on this book, go to howtorelationship.net to get your hands on it today. So, a couple of quick things to go over before I go ahead and start this breakdown and this reaction. So today I'm actually looking at the I've got the National League Championship Series on in front of me. The Philadelphia Phillies. We took game one yesterday. Against the San Diego Padres. What this means is that we are 3 wins away from going to the World Series. We are 3 wins away from going to the World Series. So, with that, I'm going to have the game on in front of me. However, if the Phillies score a run or if something happens, there might be the occasional outburst. Just fair warning. Also, got a quick story to tell you guys before we get to the main event. So, as you guys all know, As you guys all know, Devin and I, we are a part of a bowling team. And and so we played, so the team we rolled against yesterday, they are probably from top to bottom the best team in our particular league. Okay, like they are easily like, dude. I think there's one chick who I think her average is 185. The other guy is kind of up and down, but their anchor bowler, he averages like a 200. He averages like a 200. Guys, we beat the brakes. We beat the brakes off of the other team, and it wasn't because of me, and it wasn't because of our other teammate. It was strictly because of Devin. Guys, I'm here to tell you. Devin's average is 126. Devin's average is a 126. Yesterday, she shot a 171, a 183, and a 149. As a matter of fact, we demoralized this team so badly. That they stormed off. They didn't even shake our hands and wish us a good game. They didn't sign the scorecard. They didn't do any of that stuff. They grabbed their bags. They stormed off. I was told by other members of the bowling. I was told by other people of the bowling league that towards the end of the 10th frame, what we ended up doing, they were slamming their bowling balls down. All kinds of crazy stuff. And so, we absolutely demoralized the other team. And so I'm very, very happy. We are now probably moving into second place. We're probably moving into second place with that. I know that we're at least in now the first place team. They are still in first place. There's no doubt about that. And the reason why I'm trying to buy some time here, guys. I'm trying to set something up, and I'm gonna be done in about 30 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. There it is. Main, no music. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Main, yeah. So what ended up? So we moved up 4 spots. And the first place team, who has another guy named Alex, is a part of what we have to offer there. So shout out to Devin. For absolutely killing it on the lanes last night, guys. This is the best bowling series she's ever had. It's the best bowling series she's ever had. Her high game all time is a 207. She's never had a series like this. So congratulations to the lovely and talented Devin. She changed her approach, and if she can stay with this approach consistently, guys, I don't know that there's anyone that can beat us. I really, really don't. Well, what did yours truly shoot? Well, I humbly shot a 203, a 196, and a 187. So, a few pins short of a 600 series. I went into this series as a 184 bowler. I'm probably going to be up around 186, possibly even 190. So, again, this was a very, very good team that we shot against yesterday, and I'm telling you right now, without Devin rolling the best series of her life, literally, we probably get swept by that team. Instead, we swept them, and I see you guys in the chat. You guys said that they rage quit. Yeah, they pretty much did. Your boy was clutch in the 10th frame. In all 3 games in the 10th frame, the first 2 games, 2 strikes. The last game, 3 strikes in a row. So that's how it goes. Okay, let me quickly read these super chats before we get this party started. Daddy Dame with the $10 super chat says, Hafiz was sounding like a straight preacher con artist. Hafiz talking a lot, talking fast, talking about himself the majority of the time. No facts, data, statistics equals con artist. I'm not going to go that far to say that Hafiz is a con artist. I think that he believes that what he's talking about is true, but I believe that he is being influenced by the wrong people. I don't think Hafiz is a bad guy. Hafiz, listen, I know you guys probably don't like him right now, and you might not like him after this, but I don't know him personally, but guys that I've worked with, Myron has worked with him closely, Alpha Male Strategies. I've talked to both of these guys. I've talked to both of these guys about Hafiz. They're like, hey man, he sees things a little differently right now, but he's a good guy. And you know what? I got to take their word for it. He's Chill, member of the chat for 12 months. Holy smokes. Says, I'll have to catch the replay. Blessings. I appreciate that very, very much. A couple more super chats here. Darius Horton with the $5 super chat says, after watching the talk with Pearl he had, he definitely seems lost. Used to like him on his podcast. He has good points, but seems wishy-washy now. We will get to that definitely later. Uncle Luke 1980s has already nailed it. Yeah, Hafiz is clearly being influenced by his wife. I think that much is obvious. That much is obvious. And with that, let us go ahead and get to the breakdown. So, I don't know. When did this live streamed? When? Let me hit the escape button here just to see. So this was, what is this? The 19th. So this was last Thursday. So Thursday, Hafiz, as well as Ali Ray, an OnlyFans model who is basically a porn star. I don't think she's a bad lady, but I mean, if I were her, I would not be all out in public as a porn star. That's just me. It is what it is. She can tell herself whatever she wants to about, me being a porn star isn't a bad thing. Listen, man, everything has a price. Everything has a cost. And at some point, she is going to pay that price, but it is what it is. It is what it is, man. I mean, I'm not mad at her for making OnlyFans content. But of course, our main guy, Coach Greg Adams, was also on the podcast. And I think it's safe to say he definitely stole the show. Not many people have too much for Coach Greg Adams in the way of debating these kinds of topics. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started.
Because I've been watching so much of your content, I want to start right where basically when I first heard this, I was like, who said that? And then they said it was you. It was something called protecting your meat. Have you heard about this?
Yes.
Protecting your meat. And meat standing for your money, your energy, your attention, and your time. And basically you've said that all relationships are transactional and that meat is the value that you're given to women. So break down what this meat is and how can men protect their meat.
Well, the funny thing, when you use that phrase, protect your meat, obviously people are going to think, what? You know
exactly.
What I mean?
And by the way, shout out to Coach Greg Adams. I sort of took and listen, I'll give him credit for this. I say now he says it better. It's protect your meat, but I call it your tiers, your time, energy, attention, and resources. Coach Greg Adams calls it your money, energy, attention, and time. It's literally the same thing. It's his concept. But I just decided to put another acronym on it.
But I try to use that as a metaphor to say, try to show men where your value is. A lot of times people will give men an idea, there's other things that are included in this, but it all boils down to, especially when you get to a point of marriage, what is your energy that you're going to put in? Typically, men give energy to women. Women pretty much don't reciprocate that back.
That's right.
I've never seen many men that spend a significant time with women and then come out energized, even in the bedroom. Most of the time, they can probably fall asleep within 15 minutes. But
now, there's a physiological reason for that, especially when it's unprotected sex. Semen has protein. Semen contains energy, right? Anyone who is sexually experienced, we know that by and large, after you get done having sex with a woman, you are drained and she is energized. Like sex drains us, it gives girls energy. Well, the reason why this is, and again, I don't want to make this a semen retention thing because there are a lot of guys, semen retention is a bunch of BS. No, I'm all about semen retention, 100%, but not as a magic bullet. The detractors of semen retention like to say, these semen retention guys are supposed to make you more alpha. No. There are health benefits, mental and physical health benefits to semen retention. No, it doesn't turn you into Superman. Okay, it does not turn you into Superman. That's not why I endorse semen retention. But the reason why some people talk about semen retention is because that is literally energy. When you ejaculate into a woman, you are giving her nutrients. You're giving protein. Nutrients and protein are leaving your body and entering hers. Okay, there's a reason why the womb is barren until it's engorged with semen, or I don't even know if I use the right word. But that's what Coach Greg Adams is talking about, right? So for the most part, after you get done having sex with a woman, yeah, she's going to have energy, a little more energy than you. For the most part, because she's getting that energy.
Terms of attention, if you remove any of these things, attention, if you remove these things, you lose the marriage, right?
Yep.
Time.
Yep.
Time is a significant value for men. And matter of fact, we call it, and also Napoleon Hill calls it, your most important asset. And many men will spend hours on end pursuing relationships, obtaining relationships,
That's right.
keeping the relationship alive.
Yep.
And then many times they will lose the relationship
go.
if they stop giving the time. Now, the money part of it, everybody knows it's all transactional. You know, you've
right.
had girlfriends, you've tried to pursue women, you're going to give up money. Now, it's not a bad thing that the relationships are transactional. So when I say relationships are transactional,
Right.
it's not a complaint.
That's right.
Many people think it's a complaint, but it's just the reality. And
you
we
go.
have to accept that reality.
Yeah, listen. I'll elaborate on what CGA said there. Look, check this out, y'all. Check this out, man. Relationships are transactional, okay? Relationships are transactional. And I think that's a good thing, okay? All relationships, sexually or otherwise, are transactional. If you are in a relationship with someone, they are getting something out of being with you. They're getting something out of being with you. Women would not submit to men if they didn't get your time and if they didn't get your tears, right? What reason does a woman have to commit to you and give you her body, her mind, and her soul if you're not giving her your time, your energy, your attention, or your resources? It would be pointless. It would be pointless. Does this mean that relationships are bad because they're transactional? No. The best relationships are always transactional. If one is giving, if one is giving more than the other is giving, there's an imbalance. If one is receiving more than the other, there's an imbalance. This is why relationships have to be This is why relationships that are mutually beneficial are always transactional. Make no mistake about it. Devin would not put on hoops, heels, and lipstick, for sex every night if she didn't get access to my tears. She just wouldn't. And I damn sure wouldn't be giving her access to my tears if she didn't do the things she did for me. It is what it is, guys. And just because relationships are the reason why so many people think that relationships being transactional is sad, because they want to hold on to this Disney fairy tale. Well, relationships shouldn't be transactional because you should be with the person because you love them. I'm here to tell you, love ain't enough. Love ain't enough, man. And anyone in this community knows that very clearly.
Gotcha. Have you? So you've never seen Coach's content ever? Really?
I'm aware of almost everybody in the space, kind of where Coach is at.
I don't think so. Just judging by Hafiz's talking points, I don't think he's aware of the right people. And this is going to be a recurring theme. There are many factors. There are many factors involved in terms of why Hafiz's mindset is where it's at. Guys, we here in the red pill community, we got to take some of that responsibility. We got to take some of that responsibility. The fact that Hafiz has not listened to Coach Greg Adams' material, well, hell, man, there's one of the reasons right there. If you're not aware of Coach Greg Adams, or if you've never listened to his material, well, of course you're going to have the talking points that you have. The problem with the red pill community is that there are way more people. There are way more people who misrepresent the red pill than people who represent it well. We've got a crazy guy down in Orlando, Florida, who does nothing but shoot guns and dox everybody. He calls himself the president of the manosphere. We can start there. Nobody takes that guy seriously. Nobody takes that guy seriously. And if he calls himself the president of the manosphere, well, dude, no wonder guys like Hafiz are anti-red pill. We got black pill guys under the banner of red pill, looks maxing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you're not a 6'4" alpha Chad who's a 10 in looks and a zillionaire, then there's just no need to even try. There are way too many guys in this community who misrepresent what this community is all about. And unfortunately, there are more guys like that than guys who actually represent it well. That's the problem. Hafiz not understanding who and what Coach Greg Adams, guys, that is indicative. That's indicative of the general consensus of this community. So I can't put that on Hafiz.
A lot of people, I may have heard ideas from other people, but I don't think I've actually sat down and watched anything from
Yep,
like
problem number
online.
one.
I may have seen like videos or like reactions to certain people, but I've never actually sat down and said, okay, let me sit down and hear him. From my memory, it may have occurred in the past, but from my memory,
Okay.
I can't like quote.
Just say no,
ideologies or
Hafiz, just say no.
philosophies that he holds
Got it.
currently.
But when you hear someone say,
You know, Hafiz, one thing that he has in common with me is that he talks a lot. Like he talks like he's a talk box. He just asked him, have you ever watched this content? Are you familiar with this content? All Hafiz had to say was no. It took him a minute and a half to tell him no. Just understand that.
hey, all right, protect your meat, and you're hearing him break that down, what's the first thing that comes to mind to you?
It sounds good, you know. Like I think everyone should protect their money. Everyone should protect their time.
Everyone should protect their money. Everyone should protect their time. Remember that.
Right? Like I think that sounds good. It's just how is that fleshed out? That's what I'm curious about, right?
How that's fleshed out, I don't understand. You protect your money. Like I don't know what do you need fleshed out. Like money takes time to make. If you're protecting your money, you're protecting your time.
Because
Okay.
I think sometimes
Yeah, C. Bay Day says he's talking like someone being dishonest. Yeah, anytime someone takes a long time to answer a question, odds are pretty good that they're probably being dishonest. That's an astute observation.
I love about what you do so much, Adam, and I have to shout out what you're doing, is that you bring in people from different sides. You know, I'm really interested in, you know, hearing more about your life. I think it's an interesting dynamic, mom and OnlyFans. Were you the one who sat down with Ruslan?
I was.
Okay,
I
so
love to
so I love what you do, Adam, because what you do is you provide an opportunity from different people to hear a myriad of ideas. I feel like a lot of times people on the internet sit in these silos
Right.
of this.
Did he just say I feel like? Hang on a second. See, this is indicator number one that he's being influenced by a woman. Listen.
What you do is you provide an opportunity from different people to hear a myriad of ideas. I feel like a lot of times.
Yep, he did. He did. He says, I feel like. Listen, just because you feel like something doesn't make it true. You just got. This is why Chris, this is why Pogson, Myron Gaines, and Fresh have the merch. I feel like. Dude, it is facts over feels, people.
Times people on the internet sit in these silos
Ah,
of just
here we
one
go.
type of content, one type of information. And
So basically, he wanted to use the word echo chamber, but I guess he wanted to fancy it up and use the word silo, right? Is he right? Yeah, there are these silos. But Hafiz, my friend, we've been in a silo for 70 years. We've been in a silo for 70 years. Finally, men have a voice and people have a problem with it, right? So what this comes down to is, yeah, you know what? The red pill space can be kind of an echo chamber. You want to know why it's an echo chamber? Because you can't get this information anywhere else. You cannot get objectively actionable advice for men that actually works anywhere else. It's got to be an echo chamber because as soon as we let guys in like Hafiz, they quote unquote infiltrate the red pill. They use the red pill to go off and get a girlfriend or a wife, and all of a sudden they say, okay, well, now I don't need the red pill. This is what's happened with Hafiz. He found the red pill, right? He became more attractive, et cetera, et cetera. Now he's married and has a wife. He's thinking, well, wait a minute, I could have done this without the red pill. Well, here I am. Well, this is likely what he is going through. This is likely what he is going through. So yeah, you know what? This is a silo, Hafiz, but you want to know something? The silo and the red pill is necessary because you're not gonna find this kind of content or these kind of talking points anywhere. And if we let anyone infiltrate it, then the message gets diluted, and now all of a sudden we get guys like Hafiz who are now turning against the red pill. So yeah, there's nothing. You know what? Listen, in some cases, echo chambers can be bad. In this particular case, no. Red pill content it's constantly shadow banned, it's deplatformed, all that good stuff. So yeah, it kind of has to be an echo chamber, it kind of has to be a silo in order for us to stay around. That's what it comes down to. So no, in this case, it's not a bad thing. Darius Horton. Oh, wait a minute. I think I read that already. Let's go to Lord Sinister 707 says it really wasn't It wasn't really his opinion. It was how he presented it. He just wouldn't shut up. He didn't even win. He didn't win an argument due to facts. Everyone just wanted him to be quiet. He spoke about nothing for 10 minutes. Okay. I haven't watched this whole thing. I think I watched the first 20 minutes when I was working out this morning. So beyond 20 minutes, I'm seeing this for the first time along with a lot of you guys. Nitty777 says, salute Donovan, listening live on Ogontz Avenue in Philly. Appreciate that very much. Shout out to Philly. My Sixers took the L yesterday, but it is what it is.
So to me, I'm very interested in hearing all the unique different ideas so that the men can sit down and choose what is actually the best.
Yeah.
What is actually going to tangibly improve people's lives? Because to me, that's all that matters. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's from me or Greg or Adam or Ali. If the information makes you a better man, makes you a better father, you may not feel this way, but makes you a better husband, if it makes you better, that's a win. I don't care who it comes from.
Yeah, but that's the problem, Hafiz. It does matter who it comes from. You see, there are a lot of men and women who give faulty advice to men and women under the guise of makes you a better man or a better woman. They really think they're helping people, but they're not. So yeah, Hafiz, it does matter where it comes from. I think he's just setting this up to make himself look like it's open-minded. It sounds to me like he's already started his campaign. Like he's already called us a silo. He's already called us an echo chamber. And so he hasn't wasted any time. So here we are, round one. We're feeling each other out. Hafiz makes the first move. Daddy Dame with a $2 super chat says, spoiler alert, Hafiz took a major L. We'll see.
And so I love the ability.
Hey, MLD is in the house. Shout out to Modern Life Dating. Guys, be sure to go and subscribe to him. MLD finally has cracked the 5,000 subscriber mark. I think he's got way more now, but shout out to him, man. MLD.
Of unique ideas to being able to be discussed today, and I just hope the best idea always wins.
I love that. And here's what I'll say, and I appreciate that, Hafiz.
Yeah.
That was all lip service. This is exactly. Yeah, that was all lip service. What Hafiz just said there, and I'm not saying this to attack him or attack his character, but he's not interested. He's only interested in the other points of view so that he can argue against them, and that's fine. But let's not pretend that you really are open-minded to what Coach Greg Adams is going to say.
I'm not an ideologue, okay? I'm a person who I'm more of an arbiter of conversation, an arbiter of truth. And
48K, but no big deal. All right. Hey, well, shout out to MLD, 48,000 subs. Not mad at that.
Arbiter of dialogue. I want people to have conversations, and sometimes they might be uncomfortable conversations. Sometimes they might say, you know what, coach, you ain't no shit. In the audience right there. And the Hafiz, man, bro, I got to tell you, respect, bro, but you're an idiot, bro. Or Ali, you're gorgeous, but you shouldn't be doing this. Or all good. Everyone, different strokes for different folks. But at the end of the day, what we want is the audience to get clear on what they want in life. That's why we say we want to get you paid, laid, and do it your way. It's your one life. I don't want you to have to live a life that's not yours. Okay, and there's so many people walking on eggshells these days, and there's so many people that are just...
Yeah, like men. Men are walking on eggshells. We're walking on, especially on these platforms.
Basically trying to transform what they should say or shouldn't say. And on a show like this,
I wonder why.
Just do you.
And to be fair, to your point here, a lot of men are kind of pushed into one direction.
There it is.
Based on a few things. And
there
some people say, hey, don't you want to get married? Don't you want to have kids? Mm-hmm. And a lot of men are uncomfortable with it because of what comes with it. And people will not really include what that is. And then he finds himself in it. And then he finds himself alone when it doesn't work out. The people that kind of told him to go that way obviously leave them. They leave him hanging. And that's where a lot of the frustration comes from. So it's a beautiful thing that now, in the first time in 7 years, men have the microphone.
Bingo.
We have the power.
For the first time in how long?
70 years.
What do you mean the first time in 7 years men have the microphone?
You're old enough to remember this. You remember Ricky Lake? You
Yes,
remember
sir. Of course,
Sally
Ricky.
Jessy
Yes, sir.
Raphael?
Yes,
You
sir.
remember Oprah Winfrey?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
At that time, there was no counter opinion. There was no opportunity for men to say anything, even if...
What do you mean? There was Phil Donahue and there was
and you know
Dr.
what?
Drew has been around forever.
Jerry
Springer.
those guys don't...
But did this bitch really just say Jerry Springer? Like, really? Did this bitch really point out Jerry Springer as the masculine voice of men? Come on.
Guys
Springer,
typically,
yes.
in order
Montel?
in order to...
Oh, yeah, Montel Williams, the biggest white knight there is. I couldn't stand Montel even before I found the red pill. That was my biological programming kicking in. I cannot stand Montel Williams. Oh my
Survive,
God.
they tended to pander towards the consumer, and so thus
There you
saying
go.
they weren't real men.
Well, I'm not saying they weren't
Montel
real
might
men.
hear this right now, but
Listen,
yeah.
see, I'm not here to challenge anyone to a physical fight or challenge their
Yeah.
masculinity. However, we know how to survive in those environments.
Yeah.
And
Boy.
that means you can't be
That's a
overly
W.
masculine. You have to present a side
Damn, dude.
that's going to address the consumer to sell dishwater or shampoo and that type of thing.
Got it.
So
Wow.
what's happening is men had to create their own lanes, essentially jump on YouTube and other platforms
right.
to get the mic to be able to say what they want to say without being canceled. So this is the beautiful time we live in, because now we get to see it. Even if you don't agree with it,
Yeah.
you get to see at least another perspective.
Damn. Woohoo.
And it can't really be shut down, but it can be shut
I feel you on that. I will say that
dude, I wish I had, I don't know, maybe I'm just not self-aware enough, but dude, I always envy certain traits of other content creators, right? Like, I used to wish I had Kevin Samuels' cool. I wish that I had Myron's patience. I wish that I had Fresh's stoicism. Dude, I wish I had the ability to articulate these talking points as well as CGA. Dude, honestly, him and Myron, I don't think anybody does it better, to be honest with you.
I mean, as a dude, I'm with you. Like, I try to be like, as a dude, yes, but also as like a host of a show, there's a lot of guys out there who probably agree with you, but if there's women out there, be like, this motherfucker just said that men have been muzzled for the last 70 years.
and they don't realize it.
And they don't realize it. Do you think that men have been muzzled, or do you think more women have been muzzled for the last 70 years?
I mean, I certainly don't feel like men have been muzzled for 70 years.
Of course not. Of course you don't feel like men have been muzzled for 70 years because you're a woman. Why would you even care about that? But again, just because she doesn't feel like men have been muzzled for 70 years doesn't mean that we haven't. Again, this is the problem with the statement, I feel like. Okay? What Coach stated was an objective fact. There's nothing subjective about it. Men have been muzzled for the last 70 years. We have been muzzled for the last 70 years. But, of course, Allie Ray, porn star, OnlyFans star, not that that's relevant. Of course, she says, I don't feel like men have been muzzled for 70 years. How would you know? You don't care. You're not paying attention to that.
I mean,
Jack Vendetta with the $5 super chat says, big shout out to you, Donovan, CGA, and Fresh and Fit, and all the brothers holding it down here for the real men. Appreciate that very much. Thank you.
I think there's been, plenty of, like you stated, women like on talk shows and such like that. I don't know that those platforms were used on either side really to voice the things we're talking about
you
today.
serious?
I just don't think people talked about it as openly as they do. Most of those were, as you said, around consumer or what was going to be.
Do you guys understand what's just happened here? What's just happened here is, and this is through no fault of her own, but Allie Ray is completely oblivious to the plight of men. And why should she be aware of it? What she just said was absolute ignorance. She's sitting here telling us that neither side used these platforms. Are you kidding me? Listen, this is how ingrained the programming is, guys. This is how ingrained the programming is, and CGA actually prefaced it. Hey, we've been muzzled for 70 years, and we don't know it. And if we didn't know it, women aren't going to know it. Ay, ay, ay. JJ Barry with the $5 super chat said, Pearl had him on last night, and it was unbearable. The guy talks a lot, but never says anything. By the way, I had that interview long before Pearl put that out. She wanted my opinion on it.
Be catchy or get the audience's attention. Where I think today, like, there's just more of an open platform for people to actually have these conversations. And I think, I know it all too well. I'm judged every day, and it goes back to, like you stated, living your own life, living your own walk, and everyone.
Okay, so she just changed the subject. It's, listen, shout out to Ali Ray. She's not trying to hurt anybody. She's not hurting anybody. But dude, what does men being muzzled for 70 years have to do with you being an OnlyFans star, right? Like, okay, so you're an OnlyFans star, you're judged every day. Like, listen, Allie, we know that you're attractive enough for people to pay to watch you have sex on camera. Enough. Jesus.
Has their own ideas. Nobody's word is law, and I think that's where. Nobody's
word is law. Oh boy, this is one of those not everything is black and white thing. Not everything is black and white deal.
A lot of people are getting confused today. It's like this is meant to be an open dialogue, so you can kind of feel where you feel like is a good fit for you, or
feel like is a good fit. Listen, just because I feel like something's a good fit doesn't mean it's a good fit.
Would fit in, but there's just too much of this. It's not always black and white, and I think I'm a perfect example of that. I'm a wife, a mother, and I am doing something that is quite taboo for who I am.
That has nothing to do with anything. Jesus Christ, I swear to God. Dude, they could be having a conversation about baking Christmas cookies. Yeah, I use, a little bit more flour, I use a little bit more sugar. When it comes to baking Christmas cookies, I kind of get judged because, I'm an OnlyFans star. Like, we got it. Allie, we got it. We get it. Okay? You have an attractive enough body for people to pay to watch you get plowed by your husband on OnlyFans. We get it. We get it.
But I do it well. I balance the two. Nothing's really changed in my life outside of what I'm doing.
Hang on a second. Hold on. I missed something that she said that I wanted to point out.
There's just too much of this. It's not always black and white, and I think I'm a...
There we go. There we go. No, it's not always black and white, Allie Ray. But not everything is a gray area. See, this is the problem with men and women now. Is that the opposite. See, black and white represents objective truth. Water is wet or it's not. We know that it's wet. The sky is blue or it's not. That's objective. The gray area is the subjective truth that women like her like to swim in. Well, not everything is black and white to be able to justify whatever decisions they make. Of course, she says not everything is black and white. She has grown sons and she gets fucked on camera for money. That's fine. You can do what you want, but sweetheart, you are going to be judged for that. Your sons are going to have issues because they know what your mother looks like intimately. Like, I don't know, and again, I'm not trying to, and I'm not trying to make this about Allie Ray, but think about the world we live in. We have a wife and mother openly, basically bragging about the fact that she gets fucked on camera for money and gets paid to do it. This is her third or fourth time on the show, guys. Her third or fourth time on the show. Like, why are we so proud of the fact that we're an OnlyFans star as a mother?
A perfect example of that.
Of course you are.
I'm a wife, a mother,
and I'm doing
something that is
we got it,
taboo
Allie.
for who I am. But I do it well. I balance the two.
I'm sure you
really
do.
Changed in my life outside of what I'm doing.
Nothing has really changed in my life outside of what I'm doing.
I think I enjoy doing these type of shows because it does give me the opportunity to really show a different light to the industry, a different light to me as a person. I mean,
what the fuck does the industry have to do with male and female relations?
Who I am, Allie.
Look, shout out to Sosnick. Shout out to Adam Sosnick, but I mean, she's a woman. This is what she does.
Ray is very different who I am in real life,
That has nothing to do. So we went from men. How do you feel about the statement that men have been muzzled for 70 years? How did we go from that to, Allie Ray on camera is very different from Allie Ray off the camera?
Prior to this, and I think that's just the side that people don't get to see, and so it's
which has nothing to do with
that I've got cue cards and everything, and I'm just kind of throwing, but kind of all over the place here. But I find it interesting. You were married 9 years, okay, and on the 10th day he got out, kind of a thing. You've been married 20 years,
almost 22. 22
years. If I had a cocktail, I'd cheers to you. And you've been married 1 year, okay?
Yeah.
And I was in a long-term relationship, single now, all good. What I want to know is...
nothing wrong with fake boobs, computer geek.
Of your friends that have been married somewhat as long as you, I'm not saying as long as you, how many, let's say you have 100 friends. Let's just say 10 friends, just to kind of keep it simple. How many are still married? How many are happily married? How many are like, I just can't wait to be like coach over here and I'm looking, and we're in the 8th inning, I'm trying to get out before the game's
See, stuff like this, questions like this lets us know that Sosnick is definitely red pill aware. He's definitely a red pill guy.
Over kind of a thing. If you would break that down.
Yeah, so that's actually interesting that I don't have very many friends, well, obviously because of my industry now, but even prior to that,
part of the cost.
Because the friends that I did have that were in marriages, I've always been happy in marriage. I married literally to my best friend. We got married very young. I love him. I enjoy my time with him. We have fun together. I think what I would deal with is a lot of complaining. Like it was every conversation
Oh,
in
here
the
we
break
go.
room at work is everybody just hates their husbands.
There it
and
is.
was like,
These are the
she's-
women
she's
complaining
revealing
to
the
you,
truth.
and this is when you were a nurse.
yeah, all the
Okay.
time. And
Oh my God, of course she was a fucking nurse. That explains everything.
I had a hard time connecting with people because it's like, well, here I'm going to be this girl. Like, oh, what? I love mine. We're going to go out and have drinks. You guys want to go? They're just the guys. I always noticed the husbands were always out with their friends, and the wives were always doing their own thing. It was a very divided household, and I've noticed this too. Even my sons, they're older now, but they've told me like at other people's house, it's just crazy. Like I never see the parents sitting on the couch together like you guys do, or like hugging or kissing, or
Listen, outside of this whole OnlyFans thing, it really does sound like Allie Ray has a pretty good marriage. It sounds like she's got a pretty good marriage. But what she's also revealing is that most of the people she knows, most of the people she knew back when she actually was in the rest of the work industry were fucking miserable in marriage. She said it herself. Fellow nurses, all they did was complain about their husbands. There we go.
walking
Eben Zur says, wait, nurse?
in the kitchen, my husband slapped my ass. Like it's just those things. Like they don't see any affection, and so I've never connected
Allie, we get it. You have a nice enough ass that your husband still smacks it. Jesus Christ.
with a lot of other people because of that. So to answer your question, if you said I had 10 friends in a room, I'd say maybe one or two have at least marriages for that long, but I've never met someone that I think is truly as happy as we are, or that enjoys their time together. And I'm
Okay.
not saying that's how a marriage should be, because a lot of marriages, they really thrive on that space apart, and that's important to them. And so maybe that's just not what they do.
Here's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna turn it over to you. You're an anomaly.
Yep.
Okay, you're in a
That's it.
you're in a
That's it.
loving,
That's it.
sex-filled marriage.
That's it.
And you had a career, and now you're doing OnlyFans. Like you're an anomaly. Okay,
Yep.
like you're making more money than most women. You're happily married.
Exception
like,
to the rule.
You're not
She's
the
the exception to the
average. You're
rule.
not the typical statistic. You're the
Exception.
the exception to the rule. Correct. But what I'm also understanding is that a lot of your women, 8 out of 10, are basically in this marriage where they're upset, annoyed, they can't,
Yep.
they're sick of their husband.
There you go.
Because a lot of times we hear on my show and shows like this, men kind of need to be like the man running the show.
That's right.
Tell these women what's up.
There you
But,
go.
Women have a voice in this perspective as well.
Yeah.
And
Yes, women have a voice in this perspective, Mr. Sosnick, but we've listened to women for 70 years, and look where it's gotten us. Right? Like this, like again, anything women have sole control over, they automatically destroy. They automatically destroy. A woman's default programming is self-destruction. If you leave a woman to her own devices or leave anything in the care of a woman, she's going to destroy it. She'll destroy herself, her children, her family, etc., etc.
they're kind of being the complaining behind the scenes. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, I want everybody to understand. I'm going to look into this camera right here, so I hope you see me very well here. I want
Go ahead.
everybody to understand and remember that everything I say from this point, she backed it up.
That's
all
right.
So it's basically
That's right.
zero. All right. You have no hope, no chance.
That's it.
Past the 20 years, and that comes from experience. It also is the experience.
You have no chance of passing 20 years, you're saying?
No. You can pass 20 years.
Yeah.
You'll probably be roommates, and you'll probably be overweight in a busted
Wow.
Pillsbury biscuit can. Or
Oh!
you'll probably be the exception to the rule. But the data shows us, plus
Yeah.
the experience that she expressed.
Not only does the data show us CGA, empirical data shows us. And I'm going to go back to this example time and time again. You ask the average rank and file man anything about these topics, they're all going to verify, yeah, what CGA says is true. You'll see.
That is a very difficult thing. And this is what I want men to know.
Yeah.
It is very difficult. Many people will simplify it for you. They will say, oh, just do this and do that.
Yes.
And they will lead you on a wild goose chase.
Yes.
And that's my perspective. That's all that I offer. I tell men to not get married, especially when you don't have
Wow.
leverage. However,
Uh-oh.
I also tell you, do not listen to people who simplify this. This is
Tell
a
'em.
very complicated thing that most people fail at miserably.
Got it.
And
Let me-
this is what I want
Let,
people
let
to
me
understand.
let me tee up Hafiz, because you used a few things there about not getting married.
Yeah.
You said sometimes
If you
you'll
don't
turn
have
it-
leverage.
Okay, if you don't have
Yeah.
leverage, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And
C. Bede says she just realized she just exposed the truth of most while trying to gloat about her life. Yeah, that's
You talk about turning into roommates. Well, this guy is the roommate, the host of the Roommate channel.
Right.
When you're hearing
a
this,
nice
you've been married
transition.
1 year. And by the way, this guy's a sharp, informed, very intentional guy. My assumption is he didn't just trip and fall into marriage.
He's seen myself before.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you've been very, you're a calculated dude. Okay.
100%.
So when you're hearing Greg say this,
Yeah.
and even when you're hearing Ali say this, how are you processing this
No,
information?
this is really good, and I'm excited about how this conversation can develop because I think you've maybe. Did you react to me and AMS's conversation a couple of years ago about marriage?
Bruh, how the fuck do you expect him to watch you if you didn't watch him? Well, I didn't watch you, but I mean, did you watch me? Come on, man.
I didn't react to it. I didn't do a reaction video.
Okay.
But yeah, I made a comment about it.
Okay, you made
Yeah.
a comment about it. Okay, so to me, I'm really excited about it, but it's also key to talk about experience. Experience shapes your view, right?
Yeah.
So
Sure
a
does.
girl who's been abused by a lot of different men, she's gonna have a very cynical leaning view towards men. A man who's been cheated by business partners will have a very cynical view about
Absolutely.
having potential business partners. So it's also unique to talk about we have to be honest.
Yeah.
Nobody here is 100% objective. That's one of my
That's right.
arguments always with red pill stuff. They said they're speaking
There
the
we
truth.
go. There it is. Here we go. That's his objection with red pill stuff, is that they're speaking the
You're
truth.
not a robot. You have your biases, right? Call it for what it is. We all have our biases. I have
Okay, Hafiz, my friend, this community wasn't found. This community doesn't exist because of biases. This community exists because of shared experiences. Are there biases? Yes, but you want to know something, Hafiz? Biases are shaped by experience. There's nothing wrong with being biased, especially if you experience it again and again and again. 70% of divorces are initiated by women. 90% of relationships are ended by women. You talk to any man out on the street. Have you ever been cheated on? Dude, at least 3 out of 4 of them is going to tell you, yeah. Right? You ask another 75% of those people, have you been cheated on twice? They'll probably tell you yes. Okay. And see, we as men, we tend to learn, some of us learn more quickly than others. But the point is, pardon me, the point is that it's not just individual experiences. What he wants to do here is he wants to say, well, your individual experiences shouldn't shape your worldview. And I do agree with that. But individual shared experiences, that's the truth right there. What he wants to say, what he wants to do is he wants to take us on a case by case basis. So when he says, "Hey man, just because you had a bad experience with a woman doesn't mean that all women are like that." Fair enough. But men didn't just wake up one day. Millions of men just didn't wake up one day and just decide to shit on women. We didn't just wake up one day and say, "Hey, you know what we're gonna do? We're going to create this community. We're going to call it the red pill," right? And we're just going to shit on women. We're going to make up all these crazy stories about how they're nefarious, hypergamous, about how they cheat, about how they cover up cheating, about how women get married already having retained a divorce lawyer. We're going to make all that stuff up. No, we didn't do that. The reason this community was created is because of like experiences, shared experiences. No, our experiences are not identical, but they are all extremely similar. That's why this community exists. Cody Marshall, $5, says CGA cooked Hafiz all day and he's on point. Mario Coin, appreciate that. Let's continue.
biases. You have biases. Coach has biases. As much as we think we are, we have to be 100% honest to the people about our biases. If I'm an individual and
I'm going to be 100% honest about my bias. The hell? Jesus. I have no idea what just happened there. Hang on. Let me. There we go. All right. Good stuff. All right. Anyway, yes, we do have to be 100%. We do have to be 100% honest about our biases. There is absolutely no question about it. But like I said, we all have shared experiences. I remember when I had the debate with Alex from Playing with Fire. I remember we had this debate about empirical data, right? Like, we had this debate about the difference between the definition between of empirical data versus real data. And Alex from Playing with Fire would not concede the empirical data. He just wouldn't. That's just all there was to it, guys. So what this guy is talking about, he's talking about shared experiences as though each one, again, I totally understand. One person can't make a sweeping judgment based on one experience. He can't make it based on 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. But when we talk to and we see men and we hear stories time after time after time again, that's what happens. That's what happens. This is why this community exists.
I was divorced and I had a difficult experience via marriage. I'm going to have a biased opinion via marriage. Allie has a positive experience with marriage. So she can have a bias towards, well, great marriages can work, right? So
great marriages can work. Again, Hafiz is 100% correct. Great marriages can work. Listen, everybody wins. Everybody wins when men and women are in good relationships. And it's not just the men and women who are in those relationships. Their friends benefit, their families benefit, society benefits. But guess what? Just because it can happen doesn't mean it will happen. Hype Reactions, $2, says, this guy 100% likes to hear himself talk. Okay, so do I. So do I. I'm not trying to pile on Hafiz here, right? Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I don't like to hear myself talk. I like to hear myself talk so much. I listen to my podcasts in the shower. So I'm not gonna bag on Hafiz. I'm not gonna bag on Hafiz for that. So,
but to me, the people I admire the most, the people I look up to, are married people. Patrick Bet David.
Oh boy, hang on. Gotta make sure my camera's on. What the hell? Hang on, guys. There we go. I want to give you guys a little dimension so you guys aren't looking at the same thing the whole time. There we go. Now listen very closely to what he says here.
Peterson, my father, Pastor Mark Driscoll, people who I look up to the most, right? Long-term marriages, the people that I celebrate a lot. Long-term marriages,
which is good.
My father and mother have been married for over 30 years.
And guess what? Devin's mother and father have been married for 40 years. Kudos to them.
Great, healthy marriage. So that's my opinion. My Pastor Tahati Lewis, been married for over 25 years. So that's my worldview. And so to me,
that's the problem. What Hafiz is doing, and I can understand why one might think this way. It's a lot easier to be positive about marriages. Yes, of course. Okay, all the people that you look up to are married. Guess what? Let's back up. Let's back this up because I want to make a really good point about this. Because listen, man, looking up to men who have successful relationships, that's a good thing. But here's the problem.
People who I look up to the most, right? Admire the most. The people I look up to are married people. Patrick Bet David, Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, Hafiz does a very good job at pandering to the host. So, just saying. Patrick Bet David.
My father.
Wait, did he say...
work, right? So similar to me, the people I admire the most, the people I look up to, are married people. Patrick Bet David, Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson is married. Hafiz, the women that we are dealing with today are not the same women that Jordan Peterson was dealing with. The kind of woman Jordan Peterson married is not the same kind of woman today.
My father,
your father, okay? Your father and mother have been married for what, 30 some odd years. Guess what? Women are different now, okay? The women we're dealing with here in 2022 are not the same as they were 30 years ago.
Pastor Mark Driscoll.
Pastor, whoever the hell he is.
people who I look up to the most, right? Long-term marriages, the people that I celebrate a lot. Long-term marriages. My father and mother been married for over 30 years. Great, healthy marriage. So that's my opinion. My Pastor Heidi Lewis, been married for over 25 years.
Married over 25 years. Again, women, very different. They're very different today, if I'm doing crack mathematics, than what they were back in 1998. So listen, while you can admire these people who have long-standing relationships, you need to be acutely aware of the fact that women are not the same. Your pastor cannot advise you how to deal with women in 2022. He can advise you to deal with women back in 1994, 1986, but we ain't in 1986, Hafiz. We're not in 1986, man. Times are different. Women are different. Hafiz needs to understand women are different.
So that's my worldview. And so to me, hearing what he's sharing,
talk a lot.
there is truth in that. Everything what everyone
Desmond Montgomery says definitely didn't sound like this on Fresh and Fit last year. No, he didn't. And the reason why is because Hafiz is being influenced by his wife. That's what's happening here. He's being influenced by his wife. Guys, listen, I'm Captain fucking Red Pill, this and that and the other. Dude, every once in a while, dude, at least once a week, I'll hear something from Devin that just makes her a female. Like with the Game of Thrones, the whatever the case may be. Sometimes she'll say something and I'll have to be like, look, Devin, you know that's not really the way it is. And she's like, yeah, you're right. But and then she'll say, but Donovan, I'm a girl. This is the way, hey, I understand. Even my woman understands that she is a woman. She's designed a certain way. And I have to let her know, hey, I understand this is the way you're programmed, but your programming is not for 2022. Your programming was built for 1822. Hype Reactions, $2, says, guy talks in word salad to sound intelligent. Yeah, maybe.
One's going to share, there's going to be truth in it. Yes, if you, like my dad told me a very powerful point. I love my father. He's such a wise older man. He said the most important decision you'll ever make in your life is the one you marry. Yeah. And it can go one of two ways. Mm-hmm. And this is what I want the guys to understand. We're not teaching naivete, which is, oh, marriage is a perfect thing and you just meet the one and live happily ever after. And there's no issues, there's no divorces. Okay. We're not teaching naivete.
Okay, that makes sense.
Marriage can be the worst thing in your life. It can be an absolute living hell. And I guarantee.
Listen, marriage can be great and it can be terrible. But most of the time it's terrible. That's the truth.
You can go for days and you know so many different stories about people which marriage is an absolute living hell. But we don't want to teach being naive about the realities. But also we don't want to teach nihilism. Right, the other end of the extreme. Marriage is the worst thing possible, and the women are out to get your money, and everyone's.
That's not nihilism, Hafiz. That's the truth. That's the truth, man. Like marriage is dude. The reason why marriage doesn't work for men is because we have everything to lose. Women have everything to gain. We have everything to lose. Women ain't got nothing to lose when they come into a marriage. They don't have shit.
Miserable and everybody's roommates and everybody's this, because there are some individuals such as what Alex communicated who are in happy, healthy long-term marriage.
Yes, there are some people, Hafiz, and he's right. There are some people who are in happy, healthy marriages and or long-term relationships. Those are the exception to the rule. Those are the exception to the rule. Allie Ray is an exception to the rule. Me and Devin are the exception to the rule. That's why I do what I do. I want to teach men how to have a relationship like mine. And everyone who watches this channel, they understand that, hey, is it possible with an American woman? Sure. It's very, very difficult. So you can either do the things that I instruct you to do, or you can go overseas. But most men don't have the financial wherewithal or the balls to completely move overseas. So guess what? That's why I exist. I teach men how to deal with women here in the West.
Right. So you don't want to be naive. You want to be nihilistic. You want to be as real as possible.
See, he is drawing comparisons between naivety and nihilism. Computer, what's the definition of nihilism?
Nihilism is usually defined as total rejection of established laws and institutions.
Total rejection of established laws or institutions. What the fuck is what the fuck is Hafiz talking about? What does nihilism have to do with the red pill? I think the word that he's probably looking for is hedonism. Yeah, the red pill community we can definitely be hedonistic. And I certainly went through my hedonistic phase. For sure. But nihilism, I think he's misusing the word nihilism.
Possible. Give me the good, the bad, and the ugly. And my
J. Sixler, 1986 says, Janice, are you there? At your service, sir.
biggest thing is that I understand that marriage is a very difficult thing to get right. And the same thing is like
it is a very, very, very difficult thing to get right. Okay, so he's acknowledging that. So look, man, this is what we teach. This is what we teach. Now again, this goes back to too many bad representations of the red pill. Too many bad representations of the red pill. That's what he's basing this on. He's never listened to Coach Greg Adams. He's never listened to me. I'm a nobody. Nah, he really only listens to the extreme content that gets pushed up in the YouTube algorithm because it gets clicks.
Like, I love how what you did.
Dwayne Rhodes with the $2 super chat says Donovan equals Skywalker, Pearl equals Ray Skywalker. Thank you. Okay, well.
It's marriage and money, right? I think we're going to be talking about those.
Yeah, Michael Creed, it's cynicism. Naivety and cynicism. And cynicism is rooted in truth. Optimism is optimism.
Two things today. Adam, you're a 1% man financially, right? That means 99% of people are trying to get to where Adam is.
We know
Most
the difference,
people
buddy.
live paycheck to paycheck. They're struggling.
Yep.
Their lives suck when it comes to money. Most people are struggling, but they're trying to get to where you are. That's how I view relationships. Most people are in really sucky relationships.
That's right.
Most people, it's
That's
a
right.
day-to-day war, hell, the way work is, the way the gym is. But then there are some people who are having it at the highest of level.
Hafiz just verified what we talk about. He just said most people are in shitty relationships, but some people are not. I don't know. He's right. He's right. He's absolutely right. Dre Raven with the $5 super chat says people can survive getting bitten by a cobra, and yet we still teach people to be cautious around snakes too. Exactly. Listen, man, if you want to be a snake wrangler, great. Just understand that it comes with some risks. If you're willing to take those risks, fine.
The same way nobody says, oh, well, most people are not going to be in the 1%, so screw it. You should even try. It's, 90% of businesses end in 10 years. You should even try.
Yep.
We say if somebody's going to succeed, why not you? Which is why I love what you're doing. If someone's going to be rich, why not you? If someone's going to make money, why not you? If someone's going to have a great podcast, why not you? So for me, I acknowledge that the top of the mountain is rare. I acknowledge that. But what I also acknowledge is that if somebody's going to win, why not it be you? And how can we help as many men as possible get there? Everybody won't be able to get there, but how many people can we help get there? And that's what, to me, matters the most.
Okay, yeah, that was just a bunch of word salad, but I'll tell you this. He's right. Everybody's trying to be that top 1%er. Everybody's trying to be that top 1%er. I'm going to rewind it a little bit because he said something very poignant here. Just listen.
What you're doing. If someone's going to be rich, why not you? If someone's going to make money, why not you? If someone's going to have a great podcast, why not you? So for me, I acknowledge that the top of the mountain is rare. I acknowledge that. But what I also acknowledge is that if somebody's going to win, why not it be you? And how can we help as many men as possible get there? Everybody.
That is literally what the red pill is built atop of. We're trying to help as many men win as humanly possible.
Everybody won't be able to get there, but how many people can we help get there? And that's what, to me, matters the most.
Yeah, but listen, he makes some very good points. Just because 90% of businesses fail doesn't mean you shouldn't try to hang your own shingle. Just because most channels on YouTube are failures doesn't mean you shouldn't have a YouTube channel. Just because very few people have climbed to the top of Mount Everest doesn't mean that it's possible. Here's the difference. If you try and open a business and it fails, yeah, okay. The worst that can happen is it's bad. It's you can have bankruptcy, you maybe get a little bit depressed, but you can recover from that, right? You can recover from that. There is a cost for having a failed business, but hey, hey, at least you can recover. If you try to climb to Mount Everest and don't get there, no problem. You can try again next time. It doesn't really cost you anything except for the time and the energy and the money that it took to give it a shot. But relationships in the West are the only thing that a man can fail at, and it can literally cost him everything. He's 100% right. Just because you can't be, listen, try to be a millionaire. Try to make as much money as you can. And if you fail, you'll be 100,000-aire. Cool. Or you'll go broke. Fine. There's always a way out. But when a man fails at relationships, the West makes him pay dearly. It costs him everything. It costs him money. It makes him depressed. He loses his children, the house, the car, the kids, the dog, and sometimes even his job. And as Taylor Dortch says, and sometimes it can cost you your literal life. Hafiz is 100% correct. Why shouldn't I be one of the winners? The problem is that even when a man has a successful relationship, it pales in comparison with regards to the risk. There is way too much at stake for failed relationships. If a man fails at a relationship, he's done. He's done. Pearl said on my podcast the other day, and I agree with her 100%. This is why men aren't in relationships anymore, is because women, we as men, we pay for women's bad decisions. We pay for women's bad decisions. If a woman is sexually irresponsible and gets pregnant, she gets food stamps, she gets food stamps, she gets free food, free housing, sometimes even free education. If a woman gets married, she gets paid. Then if she decides to divorce, she also gets paid. If a woman gets laid off, she can get unemployment. There's SNAP benefits. Women, we as men, we pay for women's bad behaviors. Women can't make mistakes. It's impossible for them to make a mistake that really costs them. When men make mistakes, we pay. We pay dearly. We pay with our blood, our sweat, our tears, and everything else. That's what's at stake. So Hafiz is 100% right. Just because you probably won't be a millionaire doesn't mean you shouldn't try. Just because your business probably will fail doesn't mean you shouldn't try. But the relative cost of failing in a relationship is so much higher. So much higher.
Gotcha.
Preach. I love that.
Now,
listen to her. Preach. I love that. Isn't that interesting? Preach. I love that. Yeah. Of course you do. You're a woman.
Here's something like this. Obviously, he's sort of saying, all right, I hear you, coach. Your marriage didn't work. You got out. Thank God before the 10-year mark. So you'd probably be a little bit more spiteful than you are. I'm not saying that you're spiteful, but you'd be even more spiteful if you're paying a ridiculous amount of alimony and everything that you'd be paying. But is there anything wrong with what he's saying? He's basically saying, I hear you, coach. It ain't easy out there, brother. Like, life's tough. Marriage is tough. Making money is tough. Things are tough. But don't tell me that I shouldn't get married, or don't tell me that I can't have a successful marriage.
Yeah, listen, right. Don't tell me that I can't have a success. No, listen, I'm not telling anybody. I will never tell anybody that you can't have a successful relationship. But we got to live. See, Hafiz is prosperity preaching at this point. Okay? And this is also, this is also, Mike the Supreme says, preach, women on OnlyFans. Yeah, it's poetically ironic, isn't it? Poetically ironic, isn't it? What Hafiz is doing, he's telling guys it's possible to have a great relationship with a woman in the West. I'm telling you it's not probable. Nothing's impossible, okay? Could I walk on the moon? Yeah, sure. Is it possible that I walk on the moon? Of course, anything's possible. Is it likely? No. Am I going to be a billionaire one day? It's possible. Is it likely? No. That's what we're saying. Is it possible to have a good relationship with a woman born and raised in the West? Of course it is. Anything is possible. But it's not likely. And that's what we're talking about. We as men, we live life based on probability, not possibility. That's the way women live. Women live based on possibility because they can afford to. If women make a mistake, they don't really pay any price. If they become a single mother, they get paid to be a single mother. If they get married and have kids and then decide to divorce the guy, they get child support. Women don't pay for their mistakes, gentlemen. They don't. They never pay for their mistakes. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. This is why they can afford to live life based on possibilities. Men, we don't have that luxury. We don't have that luxury to like Vaughn says in the chat, we don't have the luxury to just manifest it, girl. No, we have to live our lives based on probability. In other words, we need to live our lives based on what's most likely to happen.
How do you process that?
I don't think anyone says do not get married. I think they call.
I'm saying it. Do not get married. If you're going to get married, don't have the state involved. Listen, guys, look. If you want, see, girls don't really, this is the deal, man. This is the deal. If you want to get married, fine. Just don't have the state involved. Have a private marriage. Have a what do they call it? Have a ceremony, right? Give her the pomp and circumstance, invite guests, have the reception. Just don't sign a marriage certificate. Don't involve the state. You get all the benefits. Well, not all the benefits, but she gets all the pomp and circumstance without you having to risk anything. And again, women want to get married. They don't want to be wives. Well, give her the wedding. Don't give her your balls.
Caution people to say, do not get married. If I say do not get married without leverage, that is a position, right, that you can change. Thus, if you read my book, it says once you get to that position, you can then make the decision. You'll probably come out better than going in it without it. However, this is what I will always say.
Tell them, Greg.
When men do find that solution does not work out, they are left alone.
That's right.
There's nobody to help them.
Preach.
So people encourage people, hey, why not? Give it a try. But when you go bankrupt, when you lose your kids, when your kids are taken from you, when the courts kind of punish you for making this decision or punishes you for being a slightly better.
Let them know something, CGA.
Then nobody's there with information. Nobody's there with context. No one's there to help them. And I believe, not feel, I know, understand, and I have evidence to show.
He said not feel.
That men are left alone when they don't succeed in this endeavor. And that is the void that I feel. Because I can tell you, hey, men are alone in this situation. Men are homeless. Men are thinking about eating guns. Men are thinking about, they have no way out. Men are losing big time, and we're losing a fraction of men due to manipulation, due to people trying to, they may be hurt. A woman might be hurt in a marriage, or she might feel that she's not being appreciated. And then she throws a grenade in the room. What happens then? See, that's where I come in. I get to show you what happens when the grenade is there.
There we go.
I also encourage you, you're not alone in this. A lot of people come to my content and they find out, oh, you too? See, before, as I said, 70 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, there was nobody presenting this side of the argument.
This side, no.
This right.
Hell no.
Nobody, they just left men alone and they said, well, you must not have been hitting it right. Or you must not have
done
it right.
There
or
it
you
is.
must have abused the kids. That's what she said.
There it is.
She said
there
that
it is.
you were, and nobody came to this position. So listen, there was a void open and I ran right through the
so
hole.
when you talk about leverage, break down what you mean by leverage. Are you talking about in a marriage before you get married?
Yes,
You're
sir.
talking about a prenup? You're talking about a set of rules,
here we go. The
guidelines?
prenup, the P word. Here we
What's
go.
the leverage you're referring
Well,
to?
a lot of men, a lot of men are looking to be loved, right? So a lot of men, the transaction is always men give, women receive. So in this instance, once men do a lot of giving, they may sacrifice, they may risk things, but they're risking.
Men give, women receive. God damn, he's on
the little
fire.
things that they have. They don't know what they're going to lose in the future, right? So by that point, they will probably avoid a prenup. They might say, I don't need a prenup. I don't have anything.
This is real shit.
Right?
Listen.
And so he'll get married. He'll build some things. Once the commitment is made and once the investment is made, then he has something. So then when they say, well, you better love her right. You better screw her right. You better appreciate her right. And he says, well, it's still not working. She's not happy. Well, then he knows he can measure how much he's going to lose because he has leverage.
There you go.
But the leverage is attached to a marital contract. And then at that point, he can say, well, I don't want to lose my 2 or 3 kids. I don't want to lose my house. I don't want to lose my car. He knows then, and also he has no protection. He didn't get a prenup because he didn't have leverage. This is what a lot of young men in their 20s don't understand because they don't know what they're going to lose. They can't measure it. Once you're 40 and you've accumulated things and you have leverage in a position,
there we go.
And a woman says, hey, I want to marry you. And you will know what you're going to lose. And at that point, you can make a conscious decision whether to engage in a state-funded marital contract. That's leverage. Most men...
A state-funded marital contract. Never get involved with a state-funded marital contract. You can get married. Just don't have the state involved. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
and get married without the leverage.
Did you have a prenup when you got married?
I was married at 28, 27, engaged at 27, 28. So absolutely not.
I did not have one.
Nope.
And if you ever get married,
Y'all are killing me, Hafiz. Hafiz is malfunctioning.
again, would you get a
I
prenup?
would advise
Clearly,
every
yes?
man. I mean, listen, a prenup is somewhat of a protection. It's just something to fight over in court if there's something to.
You don't have to get a prenup if you don't get the state involved, boys and girls. That's again. Listen, give her the cake, give her the first dance, give her the pomp and circumstance. Don't sign anything. That's how you protect yourself.
Be there. She could just fight it, and now you lost on the money.
Yeah.
But I did not. I would encourage men to do so if they want to do
Allie,
it.
when you got married, did you have a prenup?
Of course
No,
not.
and honestly, like just hearing you speak, I feel like you
Merch.
come from a place that obviously had a negative experience with stuff, or you kind of, I guess
Here
I
we
can't
go.
imagine
Here we
ever
go.
looking into a marriage, like even going into the thought of marriage, maybe because I was so young and I didn't have to,
No, it's because you're a woman. That's why.
of with so much like guardedness. I feel like going into a marriage and falling in love with someone, there's a little bit of a leap of faith there. And
Yeah, a little bit of a leap of faith. Easy for you to say. You didn't bring anything into the relationship. Ryan Hawks has asked Dr. Dre about prenups. Exactly. Prenups are almost never worth the paper they are printed on. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here with these prenups. I don't give a shit. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? But going back to what Miss Allie Ray is talking about, just take a leap of faith. Are you serious? Are you out of your mind? Yeah, just take a leap of faith. Yeah, it's easy for a woman to take a leap of faith because she's not risking anything. She's not risking anything. She's not bringing anything into the relationship that she hadn't previously given to another man. That's what this comes down to. Really, when a woman gets married to a man, really, what is she contributing? A used up vagina and sometimes even a used womb. Yeah, take a leap of faith. Shit, if I had nothing to lose and everything to gain, yes! Bryce Harper with the base hit against Blake Snell. Yes, sir. If I had nothing to lose, shit, I'd get married to, take a leap of faith. Sure, no, fuck faith. Let me say that again. Fuck faith. Fuck that. Nah, when it comes to your time, your energy, your attention and resources, fuck faith. Fuck that. No. I'm going to control my controllables. I'm not taking a leap of faith for any goddamn body. Fuck that noise. Fuck out of here. That's why bitches always say, let's take a leap of faith. They got nothing to lose. What's the worst that can happen? You get played by another dude? Big deal. There's always going to be another beta in waiting. Fuck out of here, leap of faith.
And so sometimes when you make it too transactional, I don't know. I feel like for me, it would take a lot away. And maybe again, because I was so young, we were kids ourselves. We didn't have.
Make no mistake about it. Women are more aware of the fact that relationships are transactional than women. Women are far more aware of the transactional nature of relationships than even men are. You see, men, we love idealistically. Women love, shout out to Rolo Tomasi. Men, we love idealistically. Women love opportunistically. Okay? We are the true romantics, guys. We're the true romantics. We are. And we have to be, because if we weren't the true romantics, then nobody would get laid. Nobody would get money. Nobody would have kids. Nobody would have kids. So for her to sit here and poo-poo the idea that a sexual relationship between a man and a woman is transactional, this just goes to show. And again, women are loyal to each other before they're loyal to men. Yes! Base hit. Bryce Harper's on. He couldn't go to second. Damn, couldn't go to third. Okay? Guys, listen. That's how this works. Philip Smith with a $10 super chat says, women do a leap of faith with a parachute. Men do a leap of faith with a boulder. God damn. I guess you're right. That's funny.
Have anything to protect.
Lord Sinister 707. Good to see you back. $5 says, and what men are saying is what happens when there is no one to help you when you fall. Exactly. Guys, exactly.
But I feel like
Merch.
maybe that mindset is what's quite toxic for people that aren't able to find love is when you constantly live in that, well, she might screw me over. I got to protect this. Like, how can you ever fully let yourself go and be?
You don't ever fully let yourself go and be what?
submit to just being in love. And
Oh my God. Why don't you just let yourself go and submit to just being in love? Yeah, why don't I just throw caution to the wind? Why don't I just throw caution to the wind and just have faith? Take a leap of faith and believe in love. Listen, man, I got news for you, Allie. What makes relationships strong has nothing to do with love. I'll tell you that right now. Love ain't got nothing to do with it. Listen, she can call it a toxic mindset if she wants to. That's what makes the world go round. That's what makes the world go round. All relationships are transactional. She wants us to think that she just loved idealistically. No, the fuck she didn't. The reason she's probably still married to her husband after 20 years is because he's attractive and has a large penis. As a matter of fact, his penis is so large, you haven't gone anywhere, presumably, in 22 years. You and your husband have such great aesthetic sex, you guys actually sell it. No shade on you. But again, she's the exception to the rule. Fuck out of here.
and like letting that guard
1-0
down.
Philly.
And I think the women have a lot to lose too. It's not just men, you know.
Oh my God. You think women have a lot to lose too? Like what? Another notch on their belt? Dude, is this bitch crazy? Women have a lot to... What the fuck do women have to lose?
Right, but we don't speak from the women's perspective because we're men.
Yes.
But we also...
Oh, he checked that shit. But I think CGA... CGA should have been like, what exactly do women come into relationships that they have to lose? If women had so much to lose in relationships, why are they always the one pushing for the prenup? Huh? If women had so much to lose... If they had so much to lose, why are they always trying to get married? Man, this is why women are always hesitant to sleep with players but not commit to them. They don't want to get lost in this emotion. They don't want to get played by somebody else, so they're very careful with the men that they're attracted to. That's why. They know they've got a lot to lose, like their money. They're spending money on bad boy players and all this other kind of stuff. That's why they're careful. But now she's sitting here saying, oh, women have a lot to lose too. Fuck out of here. Squared away with the $5 super chat says, are we not going to acknowledge, especially among black women, they take as much or more money than the man, thus something to lose? Real talk, man.
So I have to understand, people go homeless over this. People lose their lives over this.
There you
This is
go.
serious.
Yeah.
It's like saying I joined.
People go homeless and lose their lives over this. None of them are women. Dude. When marriages don't work out for men, men suffer. Women do not.
The military, and I was just hoping that I came out of the war not injured, not disabled, not ruined mentally, and then I don't know why you would go over there and think that. Well, this is a battle. And the battles are won and lost.
DJ Beefit with the $5 super chat says, men's leap of faith is Matthew McConaughey in Reign of Fire. Very good movie.
It's not a battle though. I think this.
Oh, Hafiz, it kind of is. It is a battle, and this battle was waged by women. See, he was just waiting for that buzzword to jump in.
This is where the language has to be used correctly.
No, Hafiz, Coach Greg Adams used the right word. This is a battle. And any man who doesn't think so has already lost.
Mm-hmm. And I think to me, I love the balancing act that's going to happen today, because I think what's going on.
Hafiz, we get it. You love the conversation, fam. Like, we got it. Listen, Allie, you're attractive enough to have people pay to have sex with your husband on camera. Hafiz, we know you love the balance. We got it. You love this conversation. You love Adam Sosnick. You love PBD. Got it.
Is that I understand.
C. Bay Day says Hafiz, check the scoreboard. It's a beatdown. Yes, it is.
So there's this idea of Eastern versus Western marriage. Let's just say Greg is on the East, she's on the West. Eastern marriage is all about logic. Does it make sense? Arranged marriages, right? Two families, two worldviews, two ideologies. Doesn't matter how you feel. It matters, does it make the most sense?
They're the most successful, by the way, arranged marriages.
We can talk.
Oh, shit. No, he didn't. He said, by the way, arranged marriages are the most successful. Well, goddamn, Hafiz. Goddamn.
Talk about that in the future.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Look, CGA knew he got him. CGA knew he bodied him. Look, watch. Look at the smile on his face.
Doesn't make the most sense.
They're the most successful, by the way.
Watch.
We can talk about that in the future.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Greg's like, look, just so you know, I'm going to slide this in here real quick, just so you know.
So Greg, comes from that mentality of, if you're gonna get in this agreement, you need to write out the agreement clear as day. What does this entail? What does it get? If you leave, you get this. If you leave without this, you don't get nothing.
There you go.
It's a very systematized business kind of contract. 'Cause
And that's why arranged marriages are the most successful.
It's
a business
contract.
Correct.
Because,
There you go.
and this is why when you were talking about the idea of like when men fail in marriage, they lose everything. That's wrong.
No, I didn't say they lose everything.
What the fuck is he talking about? Did Hafiz just fix his mouth to say that when men fail in marriage, they lose everything? Let's go back and listen to that again. I cannot believe the ignorance that's coming out of this man's mouth.
Men fail in marriage, they lose everything. That's wrong.
No.
Dude, what? Yo.
Really, nigga?
Like, Hafiz, like, what is, like, dude. Now, see, what he just said, y'all, what he just said is dangerous. What he just said is dangerous. This dude just sat here and said that when men fail or lose in marriage, that they don't lose everything. And Juan Soto, it is 2-0. It's about to be 3-0 Phillies. Devin, I have the game on, sweetie. You don't have to text me. I'm good. I appreciate it though. I appreciate it. This man just sat here and said that men don't lose everything in marriage. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
No, I didn't say they lose everything, but they lose an awful lot.
They lose a shit ton more than women. Women don't lose anything in failed marriages. They don't. Women don't lose anything. That's why they're in such a hurry to get married. Because there's nothing to lose, everything to gain.
Stop.
Yes.
That's still wrong.
Well, why is it wrong?
Because,
I mean-
let me,
Wait, what? Hold the fucking phone. This dude is Now, I don't think I got this far in the interview. This dude is
But they
fail in marriage,
This dude is
they lose
tripping.
everything. That's wrong.
No, I didn't say they lose everything, but they lose an awful lot.
Let's stop.
Yes.
That's still wrong.
Well, why is it?
How the fuck is that still wrong, Hafiz? Like, is this dude, like, look, man. I know Hafiz is a good dude, man, and he really believes what he is saying, but this is dangerous. This is fucking dangerous. How in the world is any man, like, dude, read the stories. Look at the videos. This is unbelievable. Coach EO in the chat with the $100 super chat. Good God. Coach EO with the flex. Coach EO has the, dude, his studio is fucking gangster. Like, dude, Coach EO's studio looks like a Bloomingdale's. It's unbelievable. I don't know how he did it. He says women are ruthless. They are either ruthless to have you, ruthless to take. Wait, hold on. Women are ruthless. They're either ruthless to have you, ruthless to take you, or fall, or for all. Jesus, I can't read. Women are ruthless. Take 3. Women are ruthless. They're either ruthless to have you, ruthless to take you for all you'll give her, or ruthless to get as far away from you as possible. Salute DS and company. He's 100% right. This man, this man is, he's speaking from a place of ignorance and idealism. What in God's name is he talking about? CGA just sat here and said, I didn't say they lose everything, but they lose a lot. And Hafiz says, that's still wrong. Hafiz, how is that wrong? Yeah, this is embarrassing. I don't know. This is embarrassing for Hafiz, man. Like I said, 3-0 Phillies. Here we go. This is insane. Lord Sinister 707 says, now I see what you mean.
Because, let me tell you why. Because when men lose at anything in life, they lose a lot. You lose your job. Who's going to come?
Are you fucking serious? So we have to accept the fact. So we have to accept the fact that men, when we lose in everything, we're just at a loss. No. I'm not going to just accept the fact that, hey, when we lose at everything. No. No. You're right. Men do pay a higher price when we lose at certain things, but I'm not going to willingly enter into a marriage where I know I could possibly lose everything. What is this guy talking about? So you mean so we just have to accept the fact that, hell, we lose at everything anyway, may as well lose at marriage too? No. Hafiz is right. We lose at everything. I'm not about to let marriage be one of them. Fuck that. Well, hell, if I just because when men lose, we lose everything. May as well get married. No. This is crazy, dude. This is crazy talk. This dude's in trouble. Technomage B5. Wow, member for 31 months. Wow. Says domestic partnership is greater than marriage. Contract on your own terms if you choose to contract at all. Don't contract on the state's hidden terms. I'm gonna be hitting that button quite a lot today.
Save you. If you screw your friends over, like as a man, that's the name of the game. You lose, you're gonna lose a lot.
He's right. If you lose, you're going to lose a lot. That doesn't mean that I have to willingly put myself in position to lose, Hafiz. Hafiz is right. Anytime men lose, we lose everything. That's just the name of the game. But I'm not about to say, well, because I lose anything anyway because I'm a man. No, that's not part of being a man. Well, may as well go ahead and lose everything. May as well go ahead and lose everything. If I'm going to lose, may as well go ahead and get married. No, I'm not going to willingly put my life, my freedom, my finances at risk. Sorry.
You fail, you're going to fail a lot. So I'm not saying that it's wrong, like marriage doesn't count. I'm saying marriage is a part of all the things as a man where you cannot get wrong, which is why I agree with the message that you're giving at times. That's why you got to be 100% serious. You don't go at this naive. You don't go at this.
Yeah, he's changing the goalpost. He's changing the goalpost. Every relationship I've ever been in, I took it seriously. My relationships didn't fail because I didn't take it seriously. Come on, man. Like, what are we like, dude? Seriously? ProMan1 $2 says haters is hoping Allie gets interested. Yeah, you're right. What Hafiz is doing here, guys, is what's called filibustering. It's what's called filibustering. He just talks until people finally agree with him.
Because you understand that there is a cost for this decision. So going back to the East.
That's exactly right. We understand that there is a cost for that decision. We understand that there is a cost for choosing the wrong woman and getting married. This is why men are walking away from marriage.
Certain thing, but on the West, you have marriage as all feelings.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, we love each other. Oh, we don't. You know what? You make $1 million, I make $10,000. We're gonna be together for the rest of our lives. Oh, you're this, you're that. Oh, your dad was an alcoholic. We'll never have any problem. Like it's a very naive model, right? And that's why Western marriages have issues because it's all feelings.
He's preaching to the choir. We all know this.
That's why I love Adam. Is about balance. How do we balance these two ideologies? Because to Ali's point,
this is not an ideology, guys. A lot of our detractors like to say, oh, the red pill's an ideology. No, ideologies are based on ideas, okay? Ideologies are based on ideas and theories. That's an ideology. No, the red pill is based in facts. We didn't come up with... Dude, there are no idea... Dude, this isn't based on the idea that women are hypergamous. This is based on the fact that they are hypergamous. This is not an ideology.
If it's all logic, it's boring. If it's all robotic, there's no passion, there's no excitement, there's no je ne sais
Now we sound...
quoi.
Je ne sais quoi. Oh, so I'm supposed to risk my time, energy, attention, and resources for je ne sais quoi?
Nope.
Sorry. Sorry. I'm not going to do that. What Hafiz is doing here is he is telling men, don't protect yourself financially so that you can have the passion and the je ne sais quoi. Sorry. Not going to do it. Sorry, not going to do it.
It's just a dry thing that in the modern world, people don't want that, right? But if it's all feelings, there's no structure, there's no protection, there's no wisdom, there's
I'm with that. That makes sense.
no guidance. So I think it's a marriage of those two ideas to be able to create long-term solutions for long-term success. And that's why I just think sometimes when we come from too much leaning on one direction, either or, it becomes problematic.
That to me that was a whole lot of nothing. I understand. I understood where he's coming from on a certain level, but again, that was filibustered word salad. Basil Denson with the $2 super chat says he's just going on feelings. Yeah. Listen, dude, Hafiz is a man. He's logical. He's not being logical right now. Ryan Hawk says I can pay for passion. There you go. That's it.
I
Yeah,
believe
and
he agreed with me though. I thought he was disagreeing.
Well, I
but
guess-
he
No,
No, I
agreed.
was agreeing. Yeah,
okay, that's what I thought.
That's how I play. I was
That's
like,
what I-
yeah,
okay, you're agreeing.
yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
just to be clear,
Yeah.
did you get a prenup when you got married?
No, and I
You
explained,
didn't.
I explained to you guys
Yeah.
why. So
Oh my God. Hafiz does not. Are you kidding me?
Just to be clear,
Yeah.
did you get a prenup when you got married?
no, and I
You
explained,
didn't.
I explained to you guys.
Yo, I was holding out hope. I was holding out hope that at least if Hafiz got legally married, I thought at least maybe he had the wherewithal to try to protect himself. And listen, man, you know that a lot of prenups are thrown out anyway, right? A prenup is just really another hurdle to your resources. That's all it is. A prenup makes it a lot harder for a woman to get your resources after a divorce. Guess what? There's still women who get paid out despite a prenup. This dude didn't even do that. Are you kidding me? This man got married and didn't get a prenup? This is bad, man.
That's why. So I think, and I talked about this. I love the prenup conversation. I think it's important. There's three reasons why I didn't get a prenup. But the first reason is I actually believe prenups are good and bad. They're good because
Okay, good and bad. All right.
they protect you. They're bad because they don't protect you enough.
They're good because they protect you. They're bad because they don't protect you enough. So if they protect you but don't protect you enough, wouldn't it behoove you to at least get one? They protect you but not enough, so I decided not to get one. I don't think that makes sense.
What I personally believe is something which I did research about this called a marriage contract. You may not like this, but please give this to me. How many kids do you have?
3.
So let's
I'm good with I'm good with marriage contracts as long as the state's not involved. But oh God, a marriage, oh boy, a marriage contract. Listen, if as long as you don't have the state involved, you can have a marriage contract. But here's the thing, Hafiz. Here's the thing, bruh. What Hafiz is not acknowledging is that women renege on contracts all the goddamn time. They renege on contracts all the time, namely the marital contract. They cite irreconcilable differences. You ever heard of no-fault divorce, Hafiz? Listen, you can have whatever in the contract you want. Women ain't gonna do what they don't want to do. That's facts. That's all there is to it. At the end of the day, women ain't gonna do what they want. Women ain't gonna do what they don't want to do. You can put whatever in the contract as you want to. Well, I'm supposed to do X, Y, and Z. No, women ain't gonna do. Oh my God. Oh boy, Juan Soto is having an adventure out there in right field. Damn, 4-0 Phillies. Wow.
say, Ali.
Women ain't gonna do what they don't want to do. So if Hafiz is and let me rewind here. If Hafiz's solution is just, hey, let's have a marital contract, that'll solve everything. No, that doesn't solve shit. Women, it's nothing to sign a contract. Women be like, all right, cool, I'll sign a contract, blah, 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 blah.
Married her man, and she said she wanted 3 kids, right?
Yeah.
She gets married, she wants 3 kids. All of a sudden, prior to marriage,
okay, gotcha.
he agreed. She said, honey, I want 3 kids. Is that cool with you? He said, of course, baby, you want 3 kids, we're gonna have 3 kids. She's married. 5 years into it, hey, when are we having our kid? Next year. When are we having our kid? Next year. It's year 8. He's like, I don't want any kids anymore. Should she stay in that marriage?
No.
He agreed, and she both agreed that we were gonna have 3 kids. That's why she married him.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Hafiz. If he doesn't give her kids, another man will. Just saying. Philip Smith with another $10 super chat says, place your bets, boys. How long until she takes off on him? Oh boy. Philip Smith, another $10 super chat says, Hafiz the type of guy to go all in with Uno cards. Come on, man. Yo, I got to draw 2 in a reverse. Come on, man. Come on. Y'all be nice. Lily Zero, $5 says, Fresh said it best, till death do you part. Nah, when I feel like it. There you go. There you go. That's it.
When it was time to have kids, he changed his mind. Well, I don't want kids anymore. Should she stay in that marriage?
No, why
Let's
not?
go on the guy's side, because the red pill guys love when guys are being the victim.
Oh, listen to this, dude. The red pill guys love when guys are being the victim. See, this is... Okay, all right, Hafiz. All right, Hafiz. I don't know. Maybe he's going through a little bit of red pill rage, possibly. But we speak facts over here, man. We speak facts over here.
So you're a man, and in your marriage, you agreed that we're gonna have sex, let's say twice a week. That's
an agreement.
I'm just saying
That's a verbal contract.
We're agreeing that we
Hitting it
get
twice
in
a
there
week.
at least twice a week. All of a sudden, she's like, I'm not in the mood anymore. She's like, oh, now I'm on my
That
period.
won't be all of a sudden. That'd be almost immediate. But go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, no. Got him again. Oh, my God. Jesus. Dude, Coach, a CGA bodied him again. Got him again. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's right. It would take a lot. It would not be long before she closed those legs. Spinanza with the $5 Canadian, with the $5 Canadian super chat says, Hafiz is that one friend that doesn't talk to you when he's in relationships. Yep. I agree. Face Facts, $5, says that did Derek Jackson lose his muscles? No. Lord Sinister 707, $5 says that's like saying don't wear a seatbelt. They fail sometimes. Exactly. I don't know what, dude. Hafiz is under the influence of his wife. That's the only way I can explain this.
and then months into it, right?
Yeah.
She says, well, I only want to have sex once every 6 months. Should he stay there?
Nope.
You both agreed initially, like, yo, we're gonna do this consistently, and now he's getting it. Should he stay there? So to me, what's very important about the marriage is that before you get into it,
now it's just
both
rambling.
of you guys need to agree upon everything. This is
Hafiz, here's the problem. And listen, what he is saying makes sense theoretically. But as we all know, as Brandon Drury just hit a solo home run, but as we all know, life isn't lived in theory. Life is lived in real fucking life, man. That's what this is. Women will sign anything. They don't give a shit. Women don't care. Yeah, I'll sign this contract. Right? Women have, dude, and there it is. Devin said it in the chat. Yeah, people change. So you can agree, dude, you can agree with whatever you're supposed to have sex with me twice a week. It says so in the contract. She ain't doing shit.
Where I think the nuance in the evolution, agree on everything so the woman's protected as well as the man is protected. And so to me, that's what me and my wife did before we got.
And now back-to-back home runs, and one of them was Josh Bell. So wow, we got a slugfest going.
Married, we talked about everything. Every single scenario, every single thing.
Here we go.
Me, I'm not.
You can't possibly talk about every single scenario, every single thing, Hafiz. You couldn't possibly talk about every single thing. I know you would like to think so, but trust me. Trust me, fam. Trust me. A woman will find a loophole to get out of doing stuff. She will find a loophole. Well, it says here that we have to have sex twice a week, but what if I don't feel like it? What if I have a headache?
I'm not a money guy. I'm not motivated by money. So therefore the money, like, I'm different. Everyone knows me. I'm not a money guy. So you can have all the money. I have my brain. Mm-hmm. I can start from ground zero. I'll build the money back up. I don't mind money. But to me,
did this dude just tell me? Did this dude just sit here and say, I've got my brain? So that's why he didn't get a prenup, because if you lose it all, you can just get it all back. Is that it? Okay, fair enough, but Hafiz, what about the time it takes? What about the time? You see, you don't just lose money when you lose everything. You lose that time, all that effort, all that energy that went into building money. This is bullshit. You're sitting here telling me that you didn't get a prenup. You decided not to get a prenup because you don't care about money. I'm a money guy. I don't care about money. You just said I'm a money guy, but by the same token, then you said I don't care about money. This is ridiculous. There's no, he is not willing to lose it all. He's not. No man is. That's ridiculous. That's stupid.
Because it's another argument that we can talk about later is that the kids is a whole different conversation. Kids are more wealth than money. So I was more obsessed with children than money because end of the day.
Oh, Hafiz, stop it. Dude, come on, Hafiz. Come on, man. Like, dude, now we're prosperity preaching. Kids are much more wealth. Kids much more wealth than money. No, man. Kids are fucking expensive, Hafiz. Come on, man.
Hey, like I said, we can talk about that later. But so to me, in regards to losing money, I don't care about losing money. Take whatever you want.
Oh
if
my
worst case
God.
scenario things happen.
Oh my, dude. This is ridiculous. This is, this is nonsense, guys. This is absolute nonsense. Yeah, Broly's advocate just said it. He's embarrassing himself now. Look, let's just replay that. Let's just replay that little snippet. This is bullshit. This is ridiculous.
The money, like, I'm different. Everyone knows me. I'm not a money guy. So you can have
I'm not a money guy.
all the money. I have my brain. I can start from ground zero. I'll build the money back up. I don't mind money. But to me, because it's another argument that we can talk about later, is that the kids is a whole different conversation. Kids are more wealth than money. So
that's kids being more wealth than money. That's the pastor talking. Kids are more wealth than money. That's the church talking. That's what's going on. Yes, kids are more. No, you know what, man? Maybe in your life, maybe spiritually, maybe feelings-wise, kids are worth more than money. But Hafiz, kids cost money, fam. We ain't in church, bruh. This is real life. What are we doing?
I was more obsessed with children than money because end of the day,
you are more obsessed with kids than money. Hafiz, you have to have money to have kids, bruh. Like
I said, we can talk about that later. But so to me, in regards to losing money, I don't
just listen to this. In regards to losing money,
I don't care about losing money. Take whatever you want. If worst case scenario things happen.
That guys, I don't. Well, listen, man. Listen, man. This is look, and you want to know something? We all used to think like this at one point. We all used to think like this in some point. And listen, who knows? Maybe he does have a good relationship. Maybe he won't get divorced EPAR'd by his wife, but that's the wrong mindset to have. Yeah, take all the money, take whatever you want. What Hafiz just did right there is he just disrespected himself. He disrespected his time. He disrespected his energy, disrespected his resources. He disrespected himself. I'm not about to just say, I don't care about what I've spent a lifetime building and maintaining. If worst case scenario, if things don't work out, take anything you want. Fuck no, I'm not doing that. It's ridiculous. Kyle 2020, $2 says, this is when betas beat their chest. That's right. True Black, $5 says, this is 1700 when kids would bring wealth by going out to the fields and busting up the Shiforo. Okay. Spinanza with the $5 Canadian super chat says, I feel like merch. We're watching Get Out, listening to this guy's word salad, dude. This is crazy. This dude just sat here. And told thousands of people that he doesn't care. He doesn't care about his money. This guy just sat here and said, one of the reasons why I don't have a prenup is because I don't care about money. Mr. Shane Vicious with a $5 super chat. It's been a while. Said, I used to think Hafiz was purple pill, but I was wrong. He's full-blown blue pill. He sounds like a black woman. I heard a lot of feelings, but not much logic. You said it, I didn't.
But by having a marriage agreement, both of you guys understand what's expected of you. And if one person obviously breaks this agreement, both families know. So if she wants a certain amount of kids and I say I don't want it anymore, then her family knows, though, yo, Hafiz, you promised my daughter this, you didn't give it to her, so it makes sense that this marriage is null and void.
Is this? We all understand what a prenup is, all right? Like it's signed, lawyer, date, bing, 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 bing.
Steve the Art Guy with a $5 super chat says him and the wife talked about everything. Nah, she sat there and told him what he wanted to hear, then hooked him. Yeah, dude, they couldn't possibly have talked about every scenario. There are an endless number of scenarios. And I promise you, if the wife wants out of the relationship, if she wants out of the marriage, trust me, she will come up with a scenario that has not previously been covered by the contract.
What is a marriage contract?
So it
is
can
it
go
a verbal
one-
agreement?
no,
Is it a written agreement?
it can be
You're
either-
saying that the families know each other?
Yeah,
What is that exactly?
It can be one of three things, right? It can be written between you and this individual, which is the least ideal. The second ideal is you can actually get a mediator or a legal arbiter to actually sign this for you.
This is
so
unbelievable.
therefore, like in the worst case scenario, if you go to court, this is now a legal document, right? So this is a legal document that can be able to be proved in court. But
What he's describing as a prenup, guys. What he's describing here is just a modified poor man's version of a prenup. That's what this is. He's anti-prenup, but what he's describing is a prenup, number one. Number two, anything that can be arbitrated in court can be arbitrated around. Again, the right woman. Women are ruthless. All she has to do is hire an attorney, and this is the kind of marriage contract that is done by two people. Lawyers aren't getting involved with these marriage contracts. People are sitting down just writing this stuff out themselves. You hire the right lawyer, you hire the right attorney, dude, he'll pick apart that marriage contract. He'll throw that out the window. Listen, Hafiz, you can't, look, making women sign something to say, I'm not going to screw you over, is not going to prevent them from screwing you over. A woman is, dude, men and women, we are a slave to our biological imperatives. And no prenup or marital contract is going to override that. Nothing can override human nature. Nothing. Least of all, a contract. Face Facts, $5, says the blue pill is a suppository. Oh, God. It's a lot more than that.
you know, I know a lot of the red pill guys don't like the idea of marriage being controlled by the state. And if you look at a lot of
There's a good reason for that, Hafiz. We don't like marriage being controlled by the state because the state is always on the woman's side. That's why we're anti-marriage. Selexial 2, $2 super chat says they talked about everything that she wanted. Jack Vendetta with a $5 super set said, La Cap, a new fragrance brought to you by Hafiz Baoku. I like that. La Cap, the new fragrance. Only at Macy's, your fragrance destination. Philip Smith with his 10th or 11th $10 super chat says, there are literally law firms dedicated solely to getting out of prenups. Exactly. Have a prenup that you want overturned in court? Call 1-800-OVERTURN.
a lot of traditional Eastern societies, marriage is really agreement between families. So to me, I think it's really about the families agreeing to this and the families being aware of expectations on both sides.
And while that sounds great in theory, Hafiz, I'll let him
But
finish.
therefore, there's family accountability, because what's problem in the West is there's no accountability.
Now he's switching subjects again. But let's quickly go back to what he said about the families. This is actually quite funny. Listen to
The
this.
families agreeing to this and the families being aware of expectations on both sides.
Yeah, here's the problem. Nuclear families are a dinosaur here in the West. Dude, the average so what he wants, he's saying, well, the family should be accountable and blah 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 blah. Dude, every time we turn around, the propaganda, the movies, the commercials, it's this modified version of a family. Dude. People come from broken homes all the time. So who's gonna be accountable for the man? Who's gonna be accountable for the woman? Like, listen, this all sounds great in utopia, but families are, dude, nuclear families are a thing of the past, man. So, yeah, we can talk about this great theoretical, well, families have to be involved. Okay, but, I mean, dude, 77% of all black people born in this country born to single mothers, man. And I think most kids that are born to single parents. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. So, yeah, we can talk about, hey, we got to get the families involved and hold in accountability and this and that and the other. That sounds great, but you got to have the families first. Technomage B5, $20, says, ultimately, a man's trump card is walking away. Don't stay where you're not wanted. Anchor on that and mean it, and she'll most likely hang on to you. That said, protect yourself at all times. Do your due diligence, like DS says. Absolutely. Steve the Yard Guy, $5 super chat, says, my ex didn't feel comfortable marrying me because my baby mama could risk her tax return. See how women don't want to risk their finances getting EPAR'd? James Wingett with the $5 super chat says, Hafiz forgets that there are many fake women out here. So when he gets screwed over, then he'll be talking differently. Hafiz is a BP simp, alimony baby. I don't want Hafiz to get screwed over. I don't. Hafiz doesn't have to, listen, the deal is this. Hafiz doesn't have to be screwed over by a woman for him to open his eyes about the truth about women. Now, would it speed up the process? Well, yes. It would certainly speed up the process, right? I don't want him to be screwed over. I wouldn't wish that. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Cuz getting screwed over by a woman, dude, you really will lose a lot. So I'm not trying to wish any. I don't want to wish that on him. I'm not saying you are, but I don't want to.
Therefore, there's family accountability, because what's problem in the West is there's no accountability.
Now we've changed
like
subjects.
You say, if the wife,
we agree mostly on all of these things.
Of
You
course.
understand what's going on
Of
here.
course,
When
of
you're
course.
talking about these marriages and business contracts and family, this is where we agree.
Yeah.
And
There you go.
unfortunately, we get into the loss into the romance and the feelings part
There
of it,
you go.
which feelings do change, right?
There it
the
is.
feelings
Yeah,
changed
I guess
about
that's
me
the
about a
thing.
minute
People
ago.
change.
People change, and thus,
Life changes, right?
Thus, though, the marriage contract doesn't change with the state. So you have to have those things understood and be in the proper
So
position.
okay, so let me just paint a picture here. So I was married very briefly, okay?
Divorced?
Divorced.
Uh-oh.
But I had a
No,
prenup.
Sauce used to be married. Oh, he had a prenup.
The
See that?
entire, without throwing myself under the bus here, she needed to expedite the marriage. You know what I'm
course she did.
saying?
Of
in
course
order
she
to-
did.
Yeah, I got it.
So I
There
said,
you
I
go.
got you, baby.
There it
I
is.
love you, but you have to sign and date here. And
Yep, there it
these are
is.
the expectations
See
I
that?
had if I do this for you. And
See that?
it wasn't like a marriage built to last. It was I'm here for a good time, not a long time type of situation. You could read.
Sosnick, did you marry a stripper? Did Sosnick marry a stripper? I love it. I might have to ask him that. I was actually texting with him earlier.
Between the lines here, if you know what I'm saying, okay?
Got it.
But we're still cool. Shout out to you, Lauren, if you're watching. All good.
fucking
but
awesome.
better believe that I had a prenup in that situation. So that
There you go. See that? Better believe he had a prenup in that situation. If you have something to lose, you want to protect it. Why in the world would you enter into a relationship with a woman who is incentivized to leave, who is financially incentivized to leave? The reason why women are ending marriages is because they're paid to leave. Women are financially incentivized to file for divorce. Hafiz has got to know this. Hafiz has got to know this. But no, Ali Ray is talking about take a leap of faith.
Nope.
I'm not taking a leap of faith with anybody. This is insane.
that's when I was in my early
Eric Weston says, I bet money his wife is white. I think you're probably right.
30s. Now I'm in my early 40s. Life's even better.
That's right.
Money's good.
That's right.
Career's good.
Uh-huh.
Still in shape. Still what you would call sexual market value peak. All right. Shout out to Rolo, who basically
Yes, sir.
did a whole calculation. I'm in the 0.13% of men. I'm like, okay, my ego's pretty big already. Boom. Now I just got an inflated ego. Thanks, Rolo. Boom. So life's good. But I had a conversation with a girl recently who's what I would say a very high value woman. Let's put it that way. Okay.
Okay, she's a hot girl. She's hot.
And we're saying, all right, if we ended up ever together, I would want a prenup. No. I'm not down for a prenup with what she says.
Of course
I
not.
said,
Of course not.
well, I'm glad we're having this conversation.
There
right
you
now
go. There it
before
is.
this thing gets off the ground a little bit. She's like, no. And she made some very valid points as to why she wouldn't want to sign a prenup. And I'm like, well,
of course she
granted,
did.
I hear.
See, here he goes. Of course she doesn't want a prenup. She doesn't want a prenup. She's got nothing to lose and everything to gain. That's it, man. She's not going to want a prenup. Adam Sosnick is rich. She is clearly not. She's not going to want a prenup. She's not going to want a prenup. This is ridiculous.
Hear you and emotional and all that kind of, you know, like,
right.
I love what you said about East and West. And I said, yeah, I'm going to need the prenup, baby girl. Like, sorry, like, no matter whatever happens. So,
hell yeah.
I'm trying to understand, like, the prenup, the marriage contract. At the end of the day, you'd be a fool as a successful guy to not establish some type of boundary. Some type of protection to say, hey, look, I hear you. You want to have this Fantasyland Cinderella Snow White vibe go down, right?
Cool.
Beauty
Do what
and
you
the
got to
Beast
do.
thing.
Yeah.
But
life ain't the fucking movies, man. That's why.
First marriages, almost 50% don't work.
That's right.
Second marriages, I think it's 60-something.
That's right.
63%.
Third
right.
marriages, 75%.
Absolutely.
So, like, the more and more you get married, you realize, all right, this whole thing. So, I'm understanding the balance between the emotional component because you're going to have, hey, I love you. I want to be with you forever, or else we wouldn't get married.
Yeah.
But just flip a coin whether this bad boy is going to work out or not.
That's right.
At the same time, I hear what Hafiz is saying is like, everything can't be so robotic and so structured that you can't have any feelings and emotion. Yeah. So I'm trying to kind of grapple this.
Can I add something to this?
Go.
See, this is the
Get
thing
him, Greg.
that experience offers that sometimes experience doesn't. So he talked about experience.
There it is.
You know, being open-minded to
There it
experiences.
is.
But
Here
a
we
guy
go.
who has significant investment experiences has bumped their head as well.
Yep.
They wouldn't be called bitter. They would be called experience. Right?
Oh! Wow. A man who has significant investment experience, who has suffered losses in the market, wouldn't be called bitter. Wouldn't be called bitter. They'd be called experienced. Literally the same thing. Literally. Relationships are the only entity. Relationships are the only entity. Oh, wait a minute. Relationships are the only entity, gentlemen, where the guy loses. It's the only work. It's the only one. Oh, I'm peeking a bit. Sorry. I get a little excited. I'll turn down my volume a little. There we are. Relationships are the only entity where guys lose. That's it. Listen to this. Let's listen to that one more time.
Has bumped their head open-minded to first that sometimes experience doesn't.
See, relationships are the only entity where if a guy fails and actually puts things in place to make sure he likely doesn't fail again, where he is shamed for it, right? If a man opens up a business and that business fails because he hired the wrong people, well, in the future, he is going to hire the right people. They're not saying, well, wait a minute, why would you be more stringent in your hiring practices? You're insecure. You're bitter. No, that's a lesson learned. Jungle ENT, $2 says, Coach has that playoff experience. Shit. Man, I've been to the Super Bowl, y'all. Y'all know.
So he talked about experience and, you know, being open-minded to experiences, but a guy who has significant investment experiences has bumped their head as well. Yep. They wouldn't be called bitter. They would be called
there
experience.
You go. That's exactly right.
But in this situation, what people don't know, what's behind that curtain when you go into court and the love is lost.
Oh, boy.
And also the agreements aren't being upheld with the marriage contract are piranhas, sharks. They typically come in the form of lawyers, judges, and people in that industry who make a lot of money.
He's breaking it down. With that
being said, once you go in that room, I'm one of the only people that have been in those rooms. It's a dark place. We call it the belly of the beast. And until you've been there, you really haven't experienced a marriage. Now, let me just say this. You mentioned the divorce. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second.
Courtroom? You haven't been to a marriage?
Yeah. Let me explain why.
What is Hafiz making a face for? This is all facts.
Explain why. You mentioned the 50%, 63%, 70%. But do you know that these don't include the people who have already talked to divorce attorneys?
Oops.
See, many of those 50%, there's an additional percentage of people who haven't even talked to a lawyer, or I'm sorry, that have talked to a lawyer. And they've gone, Okay, I'll stay, baby.
There it is.
It's cheaper to
keep her.
Happy wife, happy life.
There it is.
I'll just accept what it is.
There we go.
I'll stay for the kids.
That's it.
I don't want to lose the house. So it's more than 50%.
So
And
you're
I want
saying
people,
tack on a couple extra percentage
we need
points.
to tack on at least 25 extra percent because there are some people who have visited it, and many people reconciled. So it's bigger than that. And when I add on those percentages, it adds some perspective.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, there is more than 50%.
Real
These are 50% who legally got divorced. We're adding on the people who said, oh, shit, I'll just go on to stay.
What we call thinking about it.
Yeah,
divorce.
man. I think
I've never heard Coach Greg Adams swear. I don't think I've ever heard him swear. That's very interesting. I like this.
think about it. Or the person brought it up. If you don't do this, I'm divorcing.
Ali,
There you
let me
go.
get your perspective here. Because, again,
Oh, boy,
you're
here
an
we go.
anomaly, happy marriage, living a good life.
Well, the reason we didn't sign a marriage contract is, well, because I'm an OnlyFans star. And, you know, like, I get judged. Dude, she's going to turn this right back to her.
And killing it on OnlyFans, you know.
Oh, Adam! Sosnick, what are you doing? I'm going to talk to Sosnick about that. I'm like, no, Sosnick, don't bring it up. Manny Machado might mess around and get ejected if he doesn't be
Go back
careful.
to that little, you know, water cooler talk
Oh,
with
my
your ladies.
God.
Why are because I think, 70% of marriages are initiated by women?
Yep.
Sorry, divorces are initiated by women?
That's right.
And then
And
it bumps
marriages.
up to...
You were right about the first one.
100% on marriage.
So, yeah, right. 100% of marriages are initiated by women. 70% of divorces.
Right.
But and I think it bumps up to about 80% when they're college educated. So the more money they're making, the more independence they're feeling, the smarter they are. All right. What are the reasons you think that women are just over their man?
Well, I think there's a lot of too with women get in clusters and they kind of feed each other and it festers, you know. And that's one thing I think about, like my husband and I's dynamics. I've never really talked about any marital problems we've had with other people. Maybe, you know, a comment to my sister or something, you know, but I don't like discuss our problems the same way he doesn't discuss that, because I think everyone else, you know, has their own, like you said, biases and things that they've been through, and they.
Nah, Jay Blaze says, Adam, sometimes you simp. Nah. Adam is a lot of people, dude, trust me. I've met Adam Sosnick several times. There is no simp in him. He absolutely, listen, Adam's in his early 40s. He's rich and he lives in Miami. Anyone who's 40 years old, rich, and lives in Miami and came to the CME, that dude is as red pill as they come. You better believe it.
They may come from a different angle and put ideas in your head or your fears in your head.
You're saying misery loves
This is
company.
facts.
Misery loves
So
company.
if you're having an issue with your relationship, with your
Yeah.
marriage, oh, my man,
This
let
is
me tell you about
facts.
my man. And then they just kind of...
We should do that, yeah. And I think I've watched it. It's just incredibly toxic. And
See?
I think
Oh, wow.
I look at marriage as a commitment between two.
Dude, she's speaking facts. What she literally just said is single women keep women single. That's what she's talking about here, y'all. That's what she's talking about. She's talking about the fact that women get together and they start talking shit about their men. That's what it is. That's exactly what this is. So listen, man, Allie is on there pitching her OnlyFans. Guess what? She's speaking facts right here.
Two people. And for me, and so when you speak about the family aspect, I feel like we
Merch.
didn't even have a big wedding because I don't need to share that with anyone else. It's between him and I just found it kind of corny to do so. So
I guess
for
she's
me,
just the
I think
exception
a
to the
lot of
rule.
women, you know, I don't disagree with there's a lot of women out there dirty, and they will particularly prey on men who are successful.
A lot of women out there dirty. The way she says there are a lot of women out there dirty. Like, hey, don't get me wrong. There are a few women out there. No, most women in the West are dirty. Most women in the West are dirty. And there are a lot more women who prey on rich men who have no game or experience. Please believe. Let's try not to make this sound like it's just an anomaly. Like, get out of here with this.
I do not dispute that whatsoever. I don't think there's anything wrong with asking for a prenup. I think, yeah, it could maybe change the tone.
There it is.
A true woman that absolutely loves you would respect what you've built before you've actually, you know, came together,
There it
and
is.
would understand if those are protections you need because of
There you
whatever
go.
you've been through in the past. If you were a woman who was in love with you, you would honor that and sign the prenups.
Look, I got to give her a Don DeMarco. I don't often agree with what Allie Ray says, but she just told the truth. Yes, single women keep women single. They all just sit around and they shit on men all the goddamn time. They shit on men all the goddamn time. And she says, hey, look, if you really do love the guy, then sign the goddamn prenup. The reason why women don't want to sign prenups is because they want to be financially incentivized to leave the relationship like most modern women. Michael Matrok IV with a $5 super chat says, Adam is hella red-pilled. Dude, he's as red-pilled as it gets.
If I could, I almost want to like kind of get a listicle. And I get you don't speak for all women, and either will Natalia, and then I want to turn it over to the men. But if you could put a top 3 reasons why a woman
here we go.
is looking to divorce her man or break up with her man, in your opinion, what would it be? Meaning it could be money.
Found somebody else.
It could be looks. It could be not communicating. It could be infidelity. Based on your experience, what are the top 3 reasons you're seeing women just trying to break up with their man or divorce their man?
I think I'll tell you what I personally
be
think is happening in the
interesting.
marriages, and then I'll tell you the top 3 things I would say. Probably working too much.
That the man is working too much?
Yeah, I think
Wow.
a lot of women get, bitter about that if they're having to take on too much, of a role elsewhere. Because a lot of women work now too, right?
Spoonanza says he's red pill, but he panders quite a bit. Listen, not everybody can be fresh and fit, man. Not everybody can be Myron Gaines. I understand. And don't get me wrong, I'm not, listen, man, I wouldn't do it the way Adam does it, but I'm not Adam. I'm not Adam. Right? Like, there's a reason why he doesn't go in on these women, because he has a lot of these women on more than once. He wants to maintain good relations with his female guests. And when you hit women with uncomfortable facts, they get in their feelings and they get emotional about it. So I'll give it to Sosnick, man.
Right? So it's different. It's not like you can't really complain when you're at home taking care of the kids and being a housewife, like that's your role. But when you're also working and doing that, and it's not a meet in the middle in between there, then
And there we go. There's the feminist lie, guys. There is the feminist lie. Women can't do it all. They can't. Y'all can't do it all. You can't hold down a full-time job and raise well-adjusted kids. Doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. You can't serve 2 gods. You can't. You can't. If you are a working mother, something's going to suffer. It's either going to be a job or your family. It's either going to be your job or your family. Your work performance is going to suffer, or your mothering skills and relationship skills are going to suffer. And better than 9 times out of 10, it's not work that suffers.
Obviously.
So it's the man working too much and her working too much?
There you go.
I would say I've heard complaints, or maybe they're always on business or they travel.
Okay.
Or,
Oh my
I mean,
God.
obviously,
Meet
like, there's
in the middle. Dude, check this out. If I'm working 8 hours a day, I'm not coming home and doing fucking dishes. I'm not doing it. I don't give a shit. I'm a goddamn man, dude. If I get married to a woman, that's her job. That's her. And look, I'm not, dude, I will never, ever get married, but there's a reason why I pulled Devin off her job. There's a reason why I did that. It's so that she could fulfill the responsibilities of the household chores, I don't do chores. Devin walks the dogs. Man, Devin does the dishes. Devin does the laundry. She does all of that happily. For 3-4 hours a day, she sits and she does the website stuff and all that other kind of stuff. But Devin knows what's up. She lives a great life. She was telling me yesterday that she was just in bed with our dogs, and she just said, you know what? I love my life.
Trust. There could be, something there where maybe they have a very active lifestyle outside of the marriage in which maybe they don't trust their friends or who they're around. Those are some common reasons. I guess
that's number 2, distrust?
Yeah, distrust.
Okay.
And then I think generally that I personally think not enough marriages do not really prioritize sex. Like, I don't think people understand how incredibly important that is. And a lot of women.
No, it's not people, it's women. And women definitely know how important sex is. That's why they withhold it from their husbands. I mean, listen, man, I know Adam likes Allie, but dude, it just makes me so uncomfortable that everything she does has to turn back to her OnlyFans. Come on, man.
Is get bitter and want to withhold, and I'm not, and I think that is incredibly toxic, not only for the marriage,
she's
not
right,
just for him, but for the woman herself, because I think that's why a lot of marriages, I am almost shocked at these women say they won't have sex for months with their husband. I'm like, holy cow, well, it's no wonder your marriages are in
see,
shambles.
Coach saying that's unacceptable.
There you go.
I really do.
Hey, listen, she's right, though. She's right. Women withholding sex from their husbands for months and months at a time, but then they wonder why they get cheated on.
believe that,
It's
and I
very
think
common.
that
It's
plays.
more common than you know.
Oh,
Okay.
and my husband hears it. Would hear it at work. Other guys, like he was always kind of the guy.
Yeah, Jix Sisler, 1986 says she is advertising. Yeah, exactly. And most search says she was there to market herself. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's why she keeps bringing up the fact that she does OnlyFans.
In the corner, like they don't have like. I can always say there's never been a day in my marriage that I did not have sex with my husband. Like
A day?
literally, unless I was gone away from
Hey,
him, which
Steve?
was really
Steve?
So you're fucking your husband every day, huh? Even when you were pregnant? Even when you're on your period? Come on, man. Listen, Allie, we get it. You have a healthy sex life. So much so that you put it on the internet for all the world to see. But this is just an advertisement. I have sex with my husband every day. Translation, there's new fresh content. There's fresh content every single day. Ay, ay, ay.
Shout out to you, brother.
but it's so important, and I think that that is vastly undervalued.
And you're aware of that as a wife to say, all right, it is my responsibility to make sure my man is fulfilled.
Yes, and I think women also give up. They don't try as hard. They think they don't have to continue
wait a minute.
to be sexy.
Here we go. Now she's speaking facts.
And I've been there. I've gone through phases, where I didn't feel sexy. I'd had 2 kids back to back, basically, at one point, and I didn't feel great. I was overweight, and I still made time for that, though. But a lot of women immerse themselves in that lifestyle, and then of just taking care of the kids and just chop, and they totally forget to really like marinate and take care of their marriage.
So
take care of their man, Allie. Take care of their man. If you take care of your man, you take care of your marriage. Let's not get that lost in the sauce. Let's not cast any false aspersions about that. You take care of your man, you take care of your marriage. Numbers Guy 0, $5 says she can't help it. Modern women are narcissists and love to loop all inputs through their emotions to have something to say in the first place. Wow. Good job.
working too much. So basically not paying attention, developing a distrust, and then thirdly, sex. So this is coming from a woman who's been married 22 years.
Yeah.
So Nat,
yes,
you've never been married.
Yes.
You have a lot of suitors.
Yes.
You're a little
Oh my God, she has a lot of suitors. Ay, 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 ay.
hottie toddy out there. You're out there.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay. Why do you think, like, speaking from a young woman's perspective, I'm not even talking about marriage, but you've had boyfriends, a lot of your girlfriends, your sisters, they've had boyfriends. What are the top 3 reasons they break up with their men?
Because they find somebody else. That's why. That's why now, of course, they find they find somebody else for reasons, but yes, man, that's why modern women break up with that's why they break up with their men, is because they find somebody else.
Well, in the dating,
See, what's going on in her head now? What's going on in her head now is she's like, okay, how can I give an answer that doesn't make me look bad? What answer can I give that doesn't reveal my true nature, that doesn't make me look bad? Zenchins with the $100 super chat. Holy moly, you guys are generous today. Says Hafiz is a result of weak beta men, given a modicum of RP knowledge and the illusion of power through conning other men, seeking genuine knowledge, but fold under real scrutiny. Real men are forged through the crucible of life and bestowed the mantle of man by other men. Wow. Holy shit. Wow. Dude, that was incredibly profound. That was incredibly profound, but he's right. Dr. Thunder with the $5 super chat says, paying my respects. Appreciate that, Dr. Thunder. Lee Smith says, Hafiz is going to have a rude awakening. He will realize one day that everything he said is nonsense when he gets screwed over by his future ex-wife. I hope not. I hope not. I hope, unfortunately, Hafiz is the kind of man, and I was the same as Hafiz, guys. I was the same as Hafiz. I'm the type of man, like, I couldn't be taught lessons. I had to learn them. Okay? Hafiz is the man. Hafiz is the kind of man. You can't teach him anything. You can't teach him lessons. He's got to learn these lessons. Listen, some things are taught. Most things are learned.
I don't find like money to be too much in dating. Now, when you're married, I know money is definitely one. Attention is another one. And I mean in like all areas, from the bedroom, like going on dates, like attention in all aspects.
So the dude basically ain't doing enough.
So number one, attention.
Yeah. Yes.
Pay attention to me.
Attention.
Yeah.
I want some quality time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Something about that meat right there,
There's
coach.
meat.
Yeah.
I just said that.
Which is what I was referring to when I was talking about like working too much. Like they're
Yes.
not getting the
Attention.
attention. Yeah.
I'm gonna come back. I gotta come back to a point.
Well,
Go
we're
ahead.
coming
Oh,
back
yeah,
to you
yeah,
guys
yeah,
right
yeah,
after
yeah,
this,
yeah.
100%. So number one, attention.
Attention. Obviously, if you're married,
No, not married.
Not
You're
married,
not
just dating?
Yeah, I'm having people speak from
from
experience,
experience,
here.
okay.
Dating.
Oh, there you go.
For dating, attention.
Uh-huh.
What else is lack of clarity of the relationship? So like you're just dating a date and like you're like just Netflixing and chilling. And you're like, this is going nowhere.
And
So lack
right-
of clarity.
So to be clear,
Translation, the guy I'm fucking is only using me for sex. And so I gotta go. That's literally what she said. She's right.
that usually happens right around the 3-month mark. You'll get the.
Oh!
So where's this going?
I
And
would,
Oh,
the guy
my
will
God.
even
always.
like after like the first month. After
Oh,
the first
okay.
month, you should kind of get a feel of like
Got it.
where is this
Bam.
going? Like,
Yeah, after the first month, you should, but you stick around for 2 months longer because you think you'll change him.
Are we consistently going to the same places? Like, are they adventurous? Do I like
Oh,
this?
boy.
So-
No. Will he have me? That's what it is. Will he have me?
Don't waste your time.
Okay.
Just a month in, you should know.
Don't waste your time. Listen, she's right. Don't waste your time. It's a month in. You should know, and you do know. The problem is that most women don't leave. Dude, listen, man. Women who get into situationships with these bad boy players, they know when it's time to go. They know it's time to go. They know what's up, but they don't. They always stick around a little bit longer. Then when she cheats on him, it's men ain't shit. That's how it is.
And then the
Number
last
3.
one, I would say, maybe just the interest goes away. Maybe just like a lot of other options.
Dude, that's it. The interest goes away. A lot of options. She can't just say she cheats her way out of a relationship.
And that can be a really big distraction.
It's a jungle out there,
Yeah,
baby. It's
yeah,
a freaking
you know.
jungle out there.
But it kind of
All
goes to
right.
clarity, so that's kind of like my
Listen,
3.
I appreciate. Listen,
Look, and listen. She's right. But that last one was real. That last one is the reason why. That last one is the reason why, man. It is absolutely the reason why. Is because there's loss of interest because of other options. This is why I tell you guys, do not date women. You can date them. Do not commit to women who are on social media. They will be inundated with options at all times. Listen, if she wants to seek other options, she can do that on her time. Zenchins with the $20 super chat says, just showing some love around the sphere. I do love roasting rubbish over on FNF, but I wholeheartedly employ caution and wisdom. I think he wanted to say applause. Caution and wisdom pass through the ages in this current dating minefield. Be well, gents. Focus on yourself. Cheers. Appreciate that very much. Very, very good super chat. Great super chats today, guys.
I want the young men and even young women listening at home to be like, got it, Ali, boom, boom, Natalia, cool, makes sense. All right, coach. And then Hafiz, flip it on us, right? Because we established the fact that
Here we
70
go.
to 80% of marriages, relationships, the woman initiates a divorce or a breakup. But sometimes a man will initiate a breakup. Sure. From your perspective, what are the top 3 reasons men end a relationship with their women?
Men don't end relationships with women. That's a trick question. That's a trick question, fam. That is a trick question. Y'all. Men don't end relationships. Women do. They initiate at least 70% of the divorces and just about all of the breakups.
I would say number 1, lack of respect. So that goes to, like I said, men want to feel loved, but oftentimes are the giver of love, and nobody really not a lot of people focus on men receiving. So if there's a lack of respect, he may pull the trigger on that one if it feels like he's not gonna lose his children, right?
Wow.
So that would be reason number one. I would say lack of intimacy.
Yep.
People can say sex, but she can lie there like a Carl's Jr. star, and he can pump her 5 strokes. It don't mean that he got sex from her. He sound
Yo, she said he could lay there like a Carl's Jr.'s. I swear to God, CGA is the goddamn man. CGA there needs to be a CGA glossary. This dude is awesome.
You know what I mean? Most of the prostitution-oriented sex is in marriage.
Wow.
But with that being said, if he does get a couple of pity duty sexes out of his wife, doesn't mean he got anything.
So you're saying that there's a difference
quality.
between sex and intimacy.
Absolutely. Intimacy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, guys are looking for intimacy, and sometimes it's better to pay somebody for some intimacy than to get it from your own wife.
There it is.
A lot of marriages are going on right now because he's paying for intimacy somewhere else.
There you
With
go.
that being said, if he's not getting intimacy and respect from his wife, he gonna leave if it doesn't hurt him financially.
Got it. And then third,
I would say
you said
Gains
respect, sex / intimacy.
Yeah, I would say obviously then the kids. I mean, there's going to be something associated with the kids. If he knows he can keep a relationship with his children, aka she screwed up and he can get up out of there, and he can use that as leverage to make sure he doesn't lose time with his kids, then he'll pull the trigger. Yeah,
Got it. Okay.
There you go.
Go ahead, Afis.
Yeah, I want to take a little differently because there's nothing that I'm going to add to it that Coach Greg Adams hasn't shared. I think I agree with the third one may hit or miss. But here's the nuance I think is lacking in the conversation, especially to the young guys who kind of consume this kind of content.
Oh, here we
There's
go.
always truths in what people say. Like you say a lot of things that are true, but if you end the sentence there, it's not going to benefit people's lives.
What
and
is
so
he
to
talking
me, I
about?
think one of the fundamental challenges is when you come at things from a perspective of things are going to fail.
Oh my
Come at
God.
things from a perspective as
Here he goes.
worst case scenario.
Prosperity preaching.
So this is interesting. I won't get too lost in the sauce, but this is interesting TV show where this guy he spent an hour watching the worst events in humanity. The worst murders, the worst rapes, the worst thefts. He saw the worst in humanity for an hour. After watching the worst in humanity for an hour, how do you think he felt about humans, Adam?
Yeah, obviously he was just
Probably felt like crap.
feeling
He
so
probably
good. Yeah,
felt
of
really
course.
bad. So
There's a flaw in Hafiz's logic again. There's another flaw. He said the worst events in human history. The worst events. Right? How does he think he feels about humanity? Probably feels pretty bad, right? Most people aren't committing the most egregious acts in humanity. He keeps using individualized. He keeps using individualism. He keeps using this individualism. If one man were to sit down and watch the worst events in human history, he would have a pretty bleak mindset. Of course he would. He would lose faith in humanity. But the reason why men have lost faith in relationships is because we have shared experiences. Yes, Clardy says poor guy is a hope strategist. Hafiz, it's not about what's possible, it's about what's probable. I'm going to keep coming back to that. This guy keeps using individualism to justify coming after the red pill. We talk about what's probable and how to protect yourself from the probable. We talk about what's likely and how to protect yourself from the likely. He keeps using these false dichotomous examples as a way to justify coming after a red pill. The red pill is ridiculous.
So what happens so often in the marriage conversation, like I said, it's balance. Too many guys in the comments in this red pill world,
here we go.
They are consumed with the worst case scenario.
Hafiz, the worst case scenario is the norm. This guy is acting like divorce EPAR is somehow an anomaly. He's acting like women who take the house, the cars, the kids, and the dog. He's acting like this is the exception to the rule. The worst case scenario is the rule, Hafiz. That's what we're getting at. Most divorces are ended by women, Hafiz. There's a reason why women push for the marriage but no prenup. Because they know that gives them leverage. Hafiz, what are we doing, bruh?
And there's enough stories like that for days.
There's enough stories like that for days. You're goddamn right. Yes, there's enough stories like that for days. The stories exist. Dude, the worst case scenario is commonplace. He's acting like divorce EPAR is uncommon. No, it happens all the time.
Can spend 48 hours telling us every single worst case scenario, and he's only touching the tip of the iceberg of all the stories he's heard.
No, all the stories he's heard. Again, Hafiz, these are shared experiences, message boards, blog posts, YouTube channels, magazines, all of it. All of it. These are shared experiences. He says we can have stories for days. Okay. You're right, we can have stories for a day. How many stories can you find of a good, healthy relationship where both the man and the woman are benefiting mutually from the relationship? I'll wait. Yeah, there are a lot of negative stories about relationships out there. How many positive stories are out there about relationships? Hafiz? This guy, I think this guy just wants to bury his head in the sand. I think he wants to bury his head in the sand. I think he wants to remain willfully ignorant. Your marriage could work out, so you should try it. No, not even close. Holy smokes, this guy.
There's enough information about the worst case scenario about marriage,
but not enough information about the best case scenario, Hafiz. You see, the worst case scenario is the norm. The best case scenario, now that's the exception to the rule. We all just sat here and agreed that Allie Ray's marriage, 20 years still hot for each other, is the exception to the rule. If that's the exception to the rule, there's got to be a majority. Am I wrong?
About divorce. Oh, she left me. And there's enough of that in this world.
Yep.
And so my biggest thing is that how does that make society better? Especially, I'm passionate about it, going back to like black community. The biggest issue that's plaguing the black community, when I ask Candace Owens on the right, if you can ask Dr. Eric Dice on the left, they'll tell you it's fatherlessness, broken families. Not enough husbands and wives coming
Okay, now we've switched subjects again.
Together raising families.
There's a reason for that. Especially in the black community. The reason why there aren't enough husbands and fathers raising children is because better than 3 out of 4 black children born in this country are born out of wedlock. That's why, Hafiz.
That's what's destroying the black community. That's what I'm passionate about. And so to me, the biggest thing is how is simply spending all day, keyword all day, majority of my day, hearing about the worst case scenario about marriage and divorce and alimony and getting screwed over. How is that going to help black men become better fathers?
It doesn't. It helps them not to get fucked over, you idiot. This is dangerous, Hafiz. This is very, very, very dangerous. This is very, very dangerous. See, he's consumed a lot of these stories. It sounds to me like he's the one being negatively affected by this. Yeah, you're right. Shaggy Burrito said he is talking all over the place. How are these stories going to help men? How are these stories going to help black men? These stories help men to keep them from making that mistake. It's almost like this guy is suggesting that we don't talk about the bad things. It's almost like he doesn't want us talking about the bad things so that they'll be more encouraged to do to jump in relationships with women they have no business jumping into relationships with. It makes no sense. We have to talk about the risks. We have to let guys know, hey, this is possible. As a matter of fact, this is likely. This guy doesn't like the fact that most relationships are bad. He acknowledged that most relationships are bad. He said it himself. What he's mad at, I don't think he's mad at the red pill guys. I think he's mad at the black pill guys. I think he's got the red pill all wrong. He clearly hasn't watched my content. He clearly hasn't watched my content. My content is how to master the game. That's solutions. How to build a quality woman from the ground up. How to properly vet women for relationships. I have book after book after course teaching men, giving men solutions. That's what I do. But of course, Hafiz doesn't want to talk. He doesn't know anything about that. He doesn't even know about Coach Greg Adams. I think Hafiz spends too much time in the black pill community. That's who he's talking about. And there is no logic in what he's saying. And get this, there are so many men who still have no idea what a risk even the average relationship is like here in America. They still have no clue. So yeah, we're going to continue to talk about it because guys don't know about it. Unbelievable, this guy.
How's that going to help them become better husbands?
It ain't got nothing. Listen, yo, check this out. Check this out. You want to know how it's going to help us to become better husbands and fathers and all that? By staying away from ain't shit hoes, Hafiz. That's what. Listen, we can talk about the joys of cooking all we want to, and that's great. But you also have to talk about, hey, listen, man, you can also get burned by the stove. There's risk and reward. This guy only wants to talk about the reward. He says, all you guys talk about is the risk. Yeah, because nobody talks about this stuff, Hafiz. The world tells men, get married, have a baby. Give girls a chance. Give the baby mama at 3 a chance. All they talk about is the reward. Don't you want a woman who cooks and cleans and blah, 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 which is all cap. But the world purposely shields men from the risks of being in a relationship with today's modern women. They do this on purpose. Man, every kiss begins with K. Yeah, that looks all fine and well on TV, but what are the risks? That's why we talk about the bad stories all the time, Hafiz, because nobody else is. And the ones that do talk about the risks get canceled.
How is that going to equip them with the tools needed to build healthy families and to create legacies of change? And so to me,
this is just this preaching bullshit. Ain't nobody interested in legacies of change, Hafiz. Now come on, man. Now we're gonna get on our high families and legacy, bruh. Dude, don't do that. Don't do that, Hafiz. Hafiz, you're better than that, fam. Like, don't do that. Dude, ain't nobody worried about no goddamn legacy or change or legacies of families and shit. These fucking hoes ain't worried about legacies. These bitches are waiting until they're 35 and 36 years old to get married. Talk to them. See, what Hafiz doesn't understand is that we as men, we want to be in relationships. We want to start families. It's not us that don't want to start families. It's these fucking bitches out here. Men are the ones that want to have families. Dude, find me a 22, 23-year-old girl that actually wants to start a family. Most 22 and 20, dude, most women think that, wow, you get married at 24, that's a little young, isn't it? The fuck out of here. Like this, dude, this is absolutely ridiculous. Women are the ones that don't want families. Remember, men love idealistically. Women love opportunistically. More and more women are opting out of motherhood. This guy is essentially blaming men. Oh, don't talk about the bad stuff. No, we're going to talk about the bad stuff. If you want to get on a group of people in terms of why the American family is headed down the tubes, talk to the bitches. They're the ones more interested in being hoes than housewives. Fuck out of here, man.
That's one of the biggest reasons why some of the conversation to me is just boring. It's like, yo, like, okay.
It's boring, but it's necessary, bruh.
Okay, you have data, and then even some of the data is like 50% of marriages end in divorce. Is like, have we not looked up some of the most recent data? It's just like,
are you fucking kidding me, Hafiz? Are you kidding me? But because it's only a coin flip of a chance that the marriage is going to fail, we should dive in? This guy's an idiot.
Everything is biased, but it's biased to not lead to long-term success. And
Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Come on, Chester. Come on. I don't know why the trash valet had to ring the doorbell. Like, just pick up the trash, buddy. Let's continue.
If we're honest about long-term success, a lot of this information is not it.
Honest about long-term success. If we're honest about long-term success. That's just it. Hafiz. We are honest about long-term success. We are honest about long-term success. You just don't like the data. And I get it. You don't want to admit that relationships are in the fucking toilet. You don't want to admit it. The truth is the truth. You just don't like the fucking truth, bruh. That's what this comes down to. Hafiz does not like the truth. This is ridiculous. Mark Whitmore on the Sharpstream side says, Hafiz means well, but he's giving an ideal of a big picture utopia without the action required at the individual level. 100%.
I got a question for you. Do you have car insurance?
100%. I know where you're
All right.
going.
Do you have homeowners insurance?
100%.
Do you have life insurance?
100%.
Do you have medical insurance?
100%.
Did you get tired of your insurance agent talking about the possibilities of you losing your
There
life and being
you
rewarded?
go.
Hold on for a second.
There you go. There it is. Bodied him. Exactly. Exactly. Coach just checked. Now all of a sudden it's different? Fuck out of here.
I know,
You asked me a
but
question.
don't be a butt person. Here's the deal.
You asked me a question.
Here's the deal. You have insurances, although it's a very uncomfortable situation, and life insurance people who sell it tend to be scumbags. They tend to be
Yes,
looked
they
at as
do.
scumbags. Like, I don't want to have this conversation about me dying, but you surely will die.
Yes, you will.
So you better have the conversation. The reality is, yes, it's a very tough conversation. I have to spend a lot of time talking about it. It's very difficult. However, there needs to be some insurance.
Goddamn
and there's
right.
no insurance. And so we
Goddamn
must
right.
talk about
Well, I don't want to put words in Hafiz's mouth. I'm gonna let you.
Dude, real talk. Listen, I could not have thought of a better example. Very nice.
Answer this, but here's how I'm interpreting this. And believe me, I've made millions of dollars in the insurance world. All right, so
We love insurance.
I'm good.
We love
I'm
insurance
good on
over
that.
here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
ironically, I don't even sell insurance. I buy insurance off of people because they're sick of paying for their insurance. That's
Selexial 2. Wait a minute. Oh, wow. Super Chat's coming in hot and heavy. I do apologize. Technomage B5 with the $5 Super Chat says the worst case scenario is the rule. You're goddamn right. Good job. Lee Smith with a $10 Super Chat says a woman can break up a family by making a man so miserable he files in spite of wanting to keep his family intact, like in my situation. The RP can't be taught to you. It has to be done to you. Wow. You're right. A lot of lessons have to be taught. A lot of lessons can be taught. Most of them have to be learned. Most of them really do have to be learned. Wow, well said. Selexial 2 with the $2 Super Chat says his money relies on the feminist dollar. He sure is acting like it. Bag of Rocks says Hafiz is an emotional thinker. He is allowing his emotion to bleed into his thought process. To fix a problem, you have to acknowledge it. He seems to want to ignore it because it makes him feel bad. Exactly. He doesn't want to talk about the risks. He doesn't want to talk about the fact that women are financially motivated to screw you over. He don't want to talk about that. Mr. J with the $2 Super Chat says, this is why Coach is the coach. He is always ready. Bruh, if you stay ready, you never have to get ready. Real talk.
another conversation.
Because many times,
However,
they don't
yes.
get anything from the insurance
Well,
that they pay, right? But I don't want to put you out of business.
No,
I love
me,
insurance over here.
Life's good. You're not going to change anything.
Exactly.
But here's my point, and this is kind of Hafiz's point, is you're talking about you're going to die, you're getting in a car accident, your house is going to flood, you're going to flood. And he's like, stop talking about the negative shit. What Hafiz is saying, and I'll let you kind of go from here, is, well, let's talk about what happens if that doesn't happen. Let's hear some positive stories. Let's hear about the lovely home we're going to build.
Yeah, but that's just, and listen, Sosnick is just being an objective host. He has to play devil's advocate. The difference between insurance and the red pill is that we teach what's most likely going to happen. Dude, you pay, listen, you pay insurance, right? You pay insurance, you're most likely not going to get anything back. That's the insurance game. That's the scam, right? I don't want to call it the scam, but that's just how it is. That's just how it is. But in relationships, you are far more likely than not to be screwed over by a woman. If you get married, it is far more likely than not that she is going to file for divorce because she is financially motivated to do so. That's the difference. And we don't have to talk. And here's the thing. We don't need anybody to tell us about the benefits of being in a marriage because we get it all the time. The world tells us, get married, get married, get married. Every kiss begins with K. He went to Jared. Blah, 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 blah. We get it shoved down our throat. Despite everyone knowing that relations are in the shitter, men are still continuing to go down the aisle. They're not doing it for no reason. They're doing it because they're told to. We're sold the white picket fence and all that. We see it on Lowe's commercials. We see it in cell phone commercials. Every commercial, every television, every movie shows the best case scenario in terms of relationships, but it doesn't show the likely scenario. We talk about the likely scenario. Television, movies, all that is scripted. That shows you that is the best case scenario. That's why, dude, this is why Disney movies and rom-coms, that's why they're dangerous. Those are the exceptions to the rule. That's the fucking fairy tale. So, yeah, we're not gonna talk about the benefits of being married because we get it shoved down our throat all the goddamn time.
The amazing car we're going to drive in. The fact that my house isn't going to get blown away
there you go.
In a hurricane.
There it is.
And I understand what you're saying is like, yeah, brother, you can have the most beautiful house, you can have the most beautiful car, you can have the most beautiful life, but you do need some protection.
Just be fair.
So it's almost like a both. You need both.
But just to be fair, when two people enter into that agreement, that's what they talk about. They don't sit together talking about, hey, when we get divorced, and they sit to talk about those things.
There you go. Oh, look at this.
The conversation is being had,
Fair
but
enough.
it's almost between those two people. But when divorce happens, it happens in the court of public opinion.
Woo!
It happens in the public court.
Oh!
So
Go ahead,
Wow. Wow.
You asked me a question. That's why I was responding, because you asked me. I was going to respond to the question, but it is what it is. So,
Hafiz. Bruh. Did he really have to do that? Like, come on, man. Dude, Hafiz used to be, honestly, man, he used to be solid, man. Look at
Divorce
this.
happens, it happens in the court of public opinion.
This right here this is not necessary.
And it happens in the public court.
yeah. So
Go ahead, Hafiz.
you asked me a question. That's why I was responding, because you asked me. I was going to respond to the question, but it is what it is.
Like, was that necessary, Hafiz? Come on, man. Like, dude, there's no need to take this shit personally, as Aaron Nola's brother just singled in, or just doubled in a run. And Jixler says he asked you a rhetorical question. Yeah, yes, exactly. He asked a rhetorical question. And you answered the question. Come on, man.
So remember, this is how you know, Adam. This is a true test. Ali, if you want to.
Asito Roscoe says, Hafiz, MTR voice. I love it when he said, Larsa Pippin.
True test to how.
Yeah, that was passive aggressive. That's, come on, man. Like, there's no need to be like that. Just be direct. Bag of Rocks, $2 says, Hafiz is feminized, full stop. Man. This is bad.
Someone views the world, see how balanced they are, right? So, like, let's see somebody politically. The best people politically are people like Adam. They can go hard on the right and go hard on the left.
Oh my God, this dude continues to talk about balance. Ain't no fucking balance, Hafiz. See, now he's starting to piss me off. Now I'm getting emotional. Not really, but now this is starting to piss me off. All he talks about is balance, 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 balance. But no, bruh. The truth is the truth, fam. There is right and wrong. So what this guy is going to sit here and say, I imagine, is you want to talk about both the good things about being in a relationship and the bad things about being in a relationship. Dude, there is no balance. There's no balance on the other side. That's why this community exists. We're the ones bringing the balance, man. We're the ones bringing the balance. The entire world gives us all of the benefits of being married. They do it everywhere. They do, dude, billboards everywhere. Yeah, Dr. Durden says ain't no balance in facts, but exactly. Not everything is subjective, dude. Celestial 2 says emotional thinkers are the most dangerous people. Oh my God, this is crazy.
They can see the good in the right, they can see the good in the left. They have a balanced perspective.
There's a big difference between politics and relationships, brah. There's a big difference. Dude. Politics, holy moly. Nah, man, don't do that.
On both sides. When someone's only going hard here 24/7, you notice a little bit of offness.
Offness. Very astute. Very articulate.
My biggest thing is I said balance. I didn't say far west emotional. I didn't say far east logical. I said balance.
Correct. We're talking about facts, Hafiz.
My point is that if you're trying to tell somebody about buying a house, use a house example. Let's stay with the house example. If you're gonna sell somebody a house,
dude, he keeps saying the same
human
thing.
beings need houses. Of course, you're gonna add insurance to it, but this is how you're not gonna sell a house. Let me show you this beautiful house. Do you know if your house burns down and you're inside of it, you're gonna die? Do you know that there's all these electricity problems? You know when a hurricane comes, your house is gonna fall down.
Yeah, you lose your commission if you sell it like that.
And if I'm trying to sell something to you and telling you every worst case scenario, hey Adam, come drive this Lamborghini. Do you know that Lamborghinis you can get in a crash, you can die?
That's right.
Do you know if you drive this certain speed, you're gonna it's not either or, because this is what it blows my mind. I know how nihilistic these guys on the internet are, because they can't even tell the nuance. It's not either or, it's both.
Yeah.
I want you, please sit down with Coach and hear about the worst case scenario. Hear about how to protect yourself. Hear about the insurance. I want you to have that. But if all you're doing is watching him, I'm telling you, you're going to be deceived, because all you're going to be consumed about is the worst case scenario and the big bag boogeyman, aka the state, aka your woman screwing you over. You gotta hear the balance. You gotta hear the best of stories. And I remember Patrick Bet-David, shout out to PBD, said,
dude, this guy, now he's more pandering.
Would love to hear, do a debate. On one end, people who've been happily married for 40 years, a beautiful marriage, and then the guy who's been in the worst divorce in human history. And then let the people hear both of the stories. And
but whose story is more common, Hafiz? Whose story is more common? People who've been married for 40 years or people going through a nasty divorce? What story is more common? Like all of this word salad and filibustering, that doesn't do anything. Like, bruh, like all you're doing is preaching, man. All he wants to talk about is balance, 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 balance. It sounds to me like he consumed a little bit too much red pill content. That's what it sounds like to me. Right? Which scenario is more common, Hafiz? This is not about balance. This is not about balance. This is about the truth. He just sat here, if you only watching him, you're going to be deceived. No, Hafiz. No. Men are being deceived every day. Men are being deceived every day, Hafiz. That's why that's why relationships are a shit show. That's why they're a shit show, man. Men are being deceived every single day. This is why men are walking down the aisle. This is why men continue to walk down the aisle. They're being deceived all the time. He talks about balance, balance, balance. Hafiz, there is no balance. It sounds to me like he's in one of these silos. It sounds to me like all he really does is sort of hate watches red pill content. That's what he does. Why do these guys only talk about the bad things about relationships? Because we're the only ones who do, man. We are the only ones. We are the only ones who talk about the actual risks of marriage. Nobody else does. The real risks of marriage. Nobody else does. Hafiz, we're the balance. Mr. J, $2, says, we are the ones bringing balance. Oh, he says, hashtag, we're the ones bringing balance. Selexial2 with the $2 super chat says, those with bad arguments use false equivalences. Yeah, you're right about that. Raza the Terrible, $5, says, Hafiz and his suit is on life support. Send in the EMTs. Send in the EMTs. Yeah, I think, oh boy. I think it's pretty clear. So this podcast's the title of today's episode is Hafiz lost? And the answer is absolutely yes. He's lost, man. He is lost. He is very lost. He's and Rollo Tomasi talks about these guys all the time. He is a man who, how can I put this? He is a man who found the red pill. He used it to become more attractive, right? Got what he wanted, got married, and now he feels like merch. And now he feels that he doesn't need it anymore. He's saying, well, I didn't have to do all X, Y, and Z to get my wife, so now I'm going to speak out against it. I don't think he's a bad guy. I really don't. I don't think he's a bad guy. But he is lost, man. He really, really is. And you know what, man? I hope he doesn't have to learn this lesson the hard way. And I'm not being disingenuous, man. I really do. I really do. Because I think Hafiz is a good guy. I think he really wants to help men, but like the way you help men is by balance. The world is not balanced. The United States, all it does is tell men the benefits of being in a relationship. You get to have sex, home-cooked meal, blah, 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 blah. We tell you, We're telling them,
stop the cap.
No. The reason why all we talk about are the risks and the horror stories is because, number one, nobody else is talking about it, and number two, it's more common than not. It's more common than not. Look, you're going to have two people, 40 years of marriage, and then worst divorce ever. Dude, most people, and it doesn't matter where their political loyalties lie, most people are probably going to skew towards the worst divorce ever. Listen, not every divorce is going to be terrible, but there are a lot more bad divorces than there are 1,000 times more bad divorces than there are good marriages. Those are the facts. And it's our job to talk about these things. Anthony Baker, $10, says, that blue suit is the fit for the feels. Bag of Rocks with the $5 super chat says, Hafiz went from exploratory conversation to perspective. That's where he met. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Hafiz went from exploratory conversation to prescriptive. That's where he messed up. I think he's being influenced by his wife. Mr. Dave, $5 says, men being deceived by Disney. Oh, boy. Men being deceived by Disney?
Yep.
Jared?
Yep.
Women?
Yep. Yep.
Appreciate that, Mr. J, with the interactive super chat. Yeah, man, it's, yeah. Oh boy. So, yeah, I think what this comes down to is I don't think there's really much more to add. Blazanity says, here's the thing. This is on the Sharp Stream side. He keeps talking about balance when he's advocating on going on impulse instead of understanding the consequences. What I got from him is that he would rather disregard the consequences and live in the same delusion as women do and truly believe that he will be absolved from the consequences that occurred. My father told me this one lesson that sticks with me to this day. Ignorance to the wild will not save you. I understand more now that he's referring to us as men. Wow, Don DeMarco for that one. Alexander, I think Alexander Yoon, he says, if you think Hafiz was bad here, he was a lot worse in the Pearly Things interview. I'm aware of that because I've seen that. Mr. J, $5 says, I really miss Kevin Samuels. R.I.P. to the Godfather, the legend, the holy one, the great one. Kevin Samuels. Yeah, man. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think that I think Hafiz is I think he's being influenced by his wife. I think he's also being influenced by his pastor. His pastor's doing him a disservice. And again, guys, I don't want him to get screwed over. I don't. I wouldn't wish that on any man, but this dude is willfully ignorant. He says, I don't want to sign a prenup. I've got my brain. You can have what you want. What? Like, seriously? Oh, wait, New Horizon says my super chat was missed. Hold on. I'll go back up and see if I can find it. This man sat here and said, yes, I'm sorry. New Horizons, $5 says, is it just me, or does Hafiz only want to live in an idealized fantasy world? Yeah. Yeah, he does. He doesn't want to, he doesn't want to talk about the risks. He doesn't want to talk about the risks. He only wants to talk about the reward. Fam, he doesn't, he's got to, he's going to learn sooner or later, man. I just can't believe that he is, that he so willingly got married. Like, he's a man of means. He has money. Oh my God. Ay. Boy, one can only hope. One can only hope. Oops. The hell? There we go. Pardon me. I hope he gets to I hope he gets winded. Listen, he's at this point, man, I think he's ego invested in this. One thing that I pride myself on is I'll admit when I'm wrong, right? I'll admit when I'm wrong, or I'll admit if somebody makes a good point. I debated with Alex from Playing with Fire. He says, listen, you said that men shouldn't marry women, or men shouldn't get in relationships with women who are hoes. I said, that's what I said. He said, well, you said that most women are hoes, right? Yes. Okay, so would it be fair to say don't get into relationships with women who act like hoes? I said, you know what, Alex? You're right. I'll give you that one. What he said made perfect sense, because most women in this country are hoes. But if you want a relationship and you can't or won't go overseas, the next best thing to do is to get into a relationship with a woman who doesn't act like one. Fine. I'm not ego invested in this at all. I want to get it right. Look. I don't want to be right, gentlemen. I want to get it right. I'm 45 years old. I've had more experiences with women than I care to admit. I think I have enough requisite experience to know exactly what I'm talking about. Hafiz is a young man. How old is he? Is he in his 30s? I think he's probably in his early to mid 30s, maybe. But he just doesn't have the requisite experience to make these kinds of assertions, man. He knows the truth. He just chooses to ignore it for the sake of balance. That is going to do it for this, the 880th edition of TSR Live. Thank you to all of my super chatters, all of my Sharp Stream members, and all of my patrons. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.